Welcome to your dream vacation. Before we get started, what shall we call you? You wake up on the beach, soaking wet, salt water stinging the inside of your throat as if you'd nearly drowned. Water falls from your mouth as you open it to gasp for air. You have no memory of how you got here. In fact, you can only remember your own name, but not where you came from or a single fact about your life. What you do know is that, despite the outrageous beauty of the landscape around you, you feel incredibly sick to your stomach. Wow, it really went down the wrong pipe, huh? You need a minute, or can I go on? Because I can give you a minute. You've got plenty of time. Endless time, really. An eternity, if you catch my drift. The ocean's talking to us, okay. Whoa, not now, Ocean. Sorry, Har. May I continue? Please, go on. Okay, then. As I was saying, you look down at your feet, ankle deep in the crystal blue water of a newly arrived wave. As the water recedes back into the ocean, it reveals a grotesque discovery. Oh. Lovely. A decomposing face stares up... I'm sorry. A decomposing face stares up at you from beneath the sand. All you can do is vomit, a stream of dark bile, bugs, worms, and other... ick. Questions race through your mind. Where are you? How did you get here? Who was behind this incredibly charming and well-spoken voice in your head? However, answers don't come easy. Your mind is completely blank. What will you do? Run, close your eyes, and dig up that face. You brush the sand away from the half-buried human head embedded in the ground before you. There's a coin? What is that? There is no body, just this head. As you pick it up, flakes of skin fall to the ground. The jaw falls open, revealing a gold coin sitting on the rotting tongue of this poor dead soul. Getting your hands dirty, I see. I like that. You're a take charge type. It's weird that the ocean's talking to us. You examine the gold coin briefly, happily distracted from what has otherwise been an extremely confusing morning. The sun beats down on you, drying your clothes. You check your pockets, but they're empty. Plenty of room for a gold coin, you suppose, and so you deposit it. Why, that's a nice coin you've got there. What if you were to spend it right now? It's on what? I'm on a deserted beach. No thanks. Look, I'm gonna level with you here. That coin you found, it's mine. I dropped it yesterday and I've been looking all over for it. Dropped it into a dead person's mouth. Could you just give it back? No. No. Be that way then. Your mind doesn't have a chance to linger any longer in your current situation, as you feel something soft bump into your foot. It's a volleyball. It's Wilson. You look down. When you look down, you find the volleyball sitting in the sand next to you. You stare down, frozen. A voice calls out from behind you. God, I'm trying to think of what they would sound like. I'm trying to think of Huntress's lullaby. Little help, please? That's not good, but we'll have to roll with it. You turn around, and when you see what's waiting for you, your jaw just about hits the ground. There's the bunny lady. Oh, and there's the invisible man. And there's Rin. Trapper. I should be careful. I'm having a coffee, and I need to be careful that I don't accidentally, spit take. Hey there, King of No Eyebrow. You think you have this wish listed? It's been silly so far. Definitely silly so far. Let me jot your name down.
Oh, yeah, someone got killed. Oh, I hate your name. Can I search you? You look like a breathing dummy.
And that's when it grabbed. I was joking. I can't wait to go back and clip that. That's so good.
Die.
Yeah, we're going to date everybody. 4 gorgeous monsters stand halfway between you and a well-tended volleyball court. Each of them oozes with undead energy, a magical aura reaching out and penetrating you via your eyes. Your heart begins to race. Curiosity, fear, desire. You can't help but stare at these casually dressed, let's call them killers. I don't know, not to be judgmental, but that's just the energy they put out there. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you're completely paralyzed. This game is on Steam, UV World, yeah. How are you? This is the dating sim kind of parody game based on the usual weekly game that I do. Weekday game, rather. Good, I'm glad to hear that you're good. Did I read this? I'll read it again. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you're completely paralyzed. Hello. There are weird days, and then there's this. All you can do is look down at the ball and back up at this monstrous lineup of, well, literal monsters. Sexy-ass monsters, though. What do you do? Toss it back, kick it back, say no thanks, say nothing, do nothing. It's a volleyball, we'll toss it back. You bend down and grab the ball. It's warm from sitting in the sand on this beautiful day. When you give the ball a toss, it arcs beautifully through the air and lands right in Huntress's hands. Not bad, stranger. Huntress's muscles ripple as she grips it in her hand. You look her up and down and consider what it might be like to be held tightly in those strong arms. Warm, perhaps. Maybe a little sweaty, but that's okay. It's natural. Try hard much? Ugh. They're speaking directly to you, but you still can't bring yourself to reply. You're entranced. LOL, bring hat lady back. Ooh, spirit. Hello again, Joshi. Thank you for coming back. I just had to restart the computer. I don't know why every time I have a Windows update it likes to just mess everything up. When you snap out of it, you realize that everyone has gone back to the volleyball court. Alone again, you look across the beach at these strange residents who casually bat a volleyball back and forth, happily ignoring your intrusion onto their private beach. If you are part of the Potato Bomb Squad, do remember to check in so that I have 2 forms of me trying to remember who's been here. It's all good, gave me time to grab a drink and breakfast. Good. Glad to hear it. Should you be frightened, worried, excited? I did refer to them as killers, not to give too much away. But at the same time, damn, they are looking very appealing in their own way, and nobody so much as lifted a blood-soaked finger in your direction. Don't be scared, horror. You were made for this. Well, geez, if the spooky ocean voice is not to be scared, I'm sure it's all going to work out. With no good reason not to, you decide to head over and see what happens next. It seems like you derailed the volleyball game just by showing up. You derailed God damn it. You derailed the game just by showing up, nitwit. And I guess you're also a nitwit. Look, it's best to just go with what Trapper says when he says it. That's a policy I hold for pretty much anyone who always seems to have fresh blood on their hands. Hey, don't worry about it. It's just a game. Existence, that is. Besides, you seem a lot more interesting than a silly game. What's your deal? What brings you here? You mean they're here to do more than just distract from my total domination? That was Wraith. That sign means he was done with the game too. You had to restart your Twitch. I've been having to do that with Twitch just in general. Either that or he saw a butterfly or something. Look, I don't care why the slack-jawed moron is here. I just want to know, can I kill them or not? You know you can't. At least not yet. Oh yeah, not yet. Hey Horror, you might want to, say something. Actually, never mind. There'll be plenty of time for that soon enough. Right now, this group has some questions for you. But be warned, answer quickly and answer well. This is a timed quiz and it will be important later. Very important. Or not important any way whatsoever. Probably that one. I can't remember. How attractive would you say you are? Very. I'd say I'm very attractive. That's what you think very attractive is compared to this? Trevor flexes and his muscles are so tight you can practically see the blood running through his veins. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Invisibility. That's exactly what I said. Invisibility? Same, although sometimes I think I already am. What was your best subject in school? Oh, I wasn't good at either of these, so I guess skipping class. You could say I majored in skipping class, huh? If I had ever gone to school, I'm sure I would have done great in skipping class. I prefer skipping over walking almost always. What's your favorite animal? Dog, cat, mustard. I don't know what that is. We'll say cat just because Cosmo's like nearby. Definitely a cat. What? Why is everyone looking at me? You think just because I'm the typical cute goth girl, I have some specific love of all things cats, and more specifically black cats? Well, I do, but you can't go. But you can all go to hell anyway. What's your favorite color? Blue, blood red, 3-day-old corpse. Red. Some call it the color of love, but love is just another word for pain. What's your dream job? Astronaut, nightclub promoter, not working at all. I'd like to be an astronaut. It'd be pretty amazing to be an astronaut, I think. It's hard to imagine being farther away from anyone than floating in space, the cold, inky vastness of nothing forever. The best flavor of ice cream? Vanilla, chocolate, or horseflesh? Chocolate. No work at all. But it would be so cool to go into space. Like when I was a kid growing up, astronaut and inventor were the top of my list. My favorite flavor is pain. Same. Same here. Mine is vanilla, swirled with pain. I think mint chip is the greatest flavor I've ever conceived myself, but enough about ice cream, am I right? Hold on a second, this reminds me. I am right. Always. It's a lesson you should learn before we go too much further. Do what I say if you want to survive. Pick mint chip. We're teaching lessons now, narrator. You rascal. Kill or be killed is the rule on this island, even for faceless voices. Tell me, what's the best flavor of ice cream? What if we disagree with the narrator? Chocolate. The best flavor is chocolate. You got a reading comprehension problem? I just told you mint chip was where it's at. You almost bought yourself a game over there, buddy. That's right. I can end your life whenever I want to. I'm in control, so don't you forget it. If you say you like mint chip, you like mint chip. Now try it again. Tell me, what's the best flavor of ice cream? Chocolate. The best flavor is chocolate. In case I wasn't clear who's in charge, it's me. You have to understand. It feels very good to end someone else's game. You should try it sometime. Okay. You did it. The narrator killed me. We can change some of the answers a little bit. Let's do flight. Flight for sure. Technically, I suppose I can fly. Honestly, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. As far as I go, I'm still not where I want it to be. What was your best subject in school? Let's say history. History? Nice. It's important to know what came before so that we're not doomed to repeat humanity's mistakes. I mean, we will anyways, but still. What's your favorite animal? Say dog this time. Dog. You'd look absolutely adorable in a little puppy mask. What's your favorite color? Blue. Blue isn't good for productivity. Makes people want to be lazy. What's your dream job? Not working at all. If we get to do what we really want, why work at all? It takes a lot of courage to break free from society's expectations to climb the ladder. Only she could spin laziness into some kind of grand crusade. These damn millennials. Best flavor of ice cream. Go with vanilla. Vanilla. My favorite flavor is pain. Same. Same here. Mine is vanilla swirled with pain. And here we are with the mint chip. We'll just skip past this. We'll say mint chip. The best flavor is mint chip. So obedient. I think you're gonna do just fine. Anywho, now that they know so much about you, I'm sure the group wants you to start getting to know them. I'm Trapper. I pretty much run things around here. I'm the smartest, richest, strongest person on this whole island. I don't like losers. If you want to know what a loser is, say hello to Wraith. Hi, I'm Wraith. I'm nothing like everyone else. I like nice people and loathe big dumb idiots. Hey, what's up? I'm Spirit. I don't like most things. I don't really hate most things either. It's not worth my time. But the things I do hate, I really hate, you know? Based on my personal observations, life is nothing but suffering, and society is a carefully calculated lie to keep everyone subservient to those in power. It's better to choose to just not take part. Jeez, it's like she was downright murdered by society. She hates it so much. So true. Anyways, Alexa play Ohio is for Lovers. That song came up on my iPod the other day. That song was on every single compilation CD for like 2 years straight. Oh no, wait, I'm remembering Spirit's story now, and that's almost exactly what happened. Hey, I'm Huntress. Don't let these bummers get you down. There's a lot of fun to be had on this island, along with lots of love. Yeah, there is, if you know what I mean. Grow up. Grow a body. I've explained this 1,000 times. I'm dead, but I'm not a literal ghost. I just create a trail of fog. I'm not made of it. Whatever, fog body. Fog body. Okay. I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna start calling people fog body. It's just one of those stretch songs right now, so I've been listening to it. The stretch songs. That's not nice. He's not nice. You love it. Only sometimes. Ew, really? That's disgusting. That's why she likes it. Don't speak for me, I also hate it. Stop speaking entirely, actually. For the first time ever, I agree with Wraith. Let's move on, otherwise they'll do this all day. It's not on the list for the event, but if we get more, I'll need to add more songs. Oh, okay, I gotcha. There's another really good Hawthorne Heights song that actually came up on my iPod yesterday when I was walking around. Called Picket Fences. Such a good song. For the first, we did this. Besides, if I know this crew, and I do, they'll want to show off soon enough. If we're done playing, let's do something else instead. Wow, for once I actually agree with the meathead. I say we go to my yacht. It's the massive boat dock nearby. I'll give everyone a taste of true luxury and power. Wraith rolls his eyes. Don't mind him, he just hates fun and happiness. No, I hate the endless, desperate, soul-crushing pursuit of wealth, the way it's flaunted needlessly, and the cruelty it engenders. I agree with Wraith. What about hanging out by the pool? I find the water calming, simple, beautiful. Hey, what about our volleyball game? We can exercise and have some fun as a group. Are you serious? Or are you all serious? There's a perfectly good lounge to chill out at right here. I'm tired, and besides, I hate being in the sun. Where do you want to go? what is this? Is this like a little bar? Beach bar. Let's go to the beach bar. It'd be great to relax for a second at the lounge. To kick up your feet, look out over the ocean and relax on your own terms. Who would want anything else? Dry, comfortable, enjoying a cold drink on a hot day? It's the best. I mean, what kind of fool, what kind of monster, what kind of mask-wearing psychopath would finally be granted a break from the constant grind of chasing and fighting to get ahead, and then choose to exert themselves in, quite frankly, any way whatsoever? Why am I the only one who gets it? It's time to stop living by their rules. I won't do it any longer. Yeah, we should probably give her a second to calm down. Oh, Claudette's here. Hold on. For just one moment. Why are Claudette and Dwight here? This is Dwight and Claudette, our activities coordinators. They're also the cooks, waiters, bartenders, janitors, and every other job. They're the only help remaining on the island. This place we call Murderer's Island. Cue dramatic musical flourish. None of the others survived. Survived the interview process, I mean. Hence, why we shall heretofore refer to them as survivors with a capital S. These two have worked here a long time. So very long, I don't actually know how long it's been. Sorry, anyway, I should probably let Dwight and Claudette do their mandated jobs. They look happy, but they're vibrating with a nervous energy that is starting to give me the creeps. We will now escort the group up to the venue of your choosing. However, in the future, we recommend waiting for us to present you with your options whenever possible, and don't just run off the various activities unsupervised. We don't have much autonomy around here. The least you can do is allow us to do our job. The most you could do help us get off this island. Dwight! Yeah, pardon me. Please, follow us. Hey, narrator. Yes, something I can help you with. Those two, Claudette and Dwight, did they just start to mention something about wanting to escape? Is escape an option? Should I be trying to escape? Escape them? Oh no. I think you're mistaken. It seemed like Dwight was asking for help to get off this island now. Oh right, that. Yes, that's true, he was, but he just meant that he wants to get to the other vacation island getaway, a couple miles south of here. It has much fancier accommodations than this island. It's one of those big corporate outfits, quite exclusive, where all the famous celebrities hang out. Very luxurious. Doesn't quite have the charm that this island has, though. Trust me, you wouldn't want to go there. With all that money comes a lot of restrictions. This is where you belong. Now, off you go. It's time for an activity. On this island, your decisions matter. Mostly. When I agree with them. Not like that other island. So what'll it be? I still want to go to the lounge. Finishing my coffee, sorry. Finally, free from the preposterous premise that the four of us would be engaged in some sort of thrilling 2-on-2 volleyball match. Spirit looks at you from beneath her gigantic sun hat. She takes on a conspiratorial tone. I don't know whose idea volleyball was in the first place, but I hate them. I tried to feign a sprained ankle, but everyone already knows that I technically float above the ground, so nobody believed I was even putting any pressure on my joints in the first place. And I tried to annoy everyone by not giving a crap. Or then I tried to annoy everyone by not giving a crap. And when that didn't work, I tried blinding. And when that didn't work, I threatened to kill every single person on this island, but it turns out I'm not the first to toss those kinds of threats around on this island. So, thanks, I guess, for getting it called off. Are we threatening to end each other again? Now it's Dwight who takes on a conspiratorial tone, his eyes shifting as he slips into a loud whisper. Please just make it quick. This is what you'll be saying when we get behind the bar to make you the drink of your dreams. Hilarious, right? Right, Dwight? Yeah, right. So, what'll you be having? Why are they attached to the ass? They're hip bumping. They're just booty bumping. King, what are you talking about? vodka soda, sangria, scotch rocks, virgin daiquiri. I've been wanting sangria for like 3 years. Something fruity but refreshing. Hold the coconut rum. Sangria maybe. There's a clipboard between them. I mean, Claudette's hand is a little dangerously close to Dwight's crutch. No, ignore that. My pleasure. That sounds nice. We used to make drinks like that back home. Well, not we, exactly. I watched someone drink a drink like that once. They looked happy. Now's your chance to be the one with the drink. What do you say? Is this some sort of juice for a child? Are there children hiding about? No, it's for adults, the kind who like, you know, tropical fun. Oh, I see. Huntress really seemed to perk up at the idea of kids being around, and is bummed to hear there aren't any. I'm quite glad it's just grown-ups on this island personally. Little one should definitely not be exposed to this. Not my cup of tea, but okay, sure. We can still use it for a toast, yeah? To new adventures. To, Clink? Did you just say Clink? Since we've fulfilled your requests, it's time for you to return the favor. I should have known there was a catch. Icebreaker time! I swear, had I known they pulled this kind of faux enthusiastic community building crap, I'd have suggested that we attempt to walk to the lowest point of the ocean before I ever set foot near this bar. You don't think it could be kind of fun? A little fun? Never mind, I hate it. This sucks. But it could be fine, or whatever you say. Has anyone seen my hat? I've literally never seen him in a hat. If we must make small talk, I'm at least picking a topic before we end up being forced to do some lame improv game that nerds learn at their non-sports after-school activities that I definitely never did because I'm no nerd. Methinks a certain someone doth protest too much. Sitting here on this beautiful sunny afternoon, warm sand beneath the cool fog beneath my severed feet. The topic I choose is books. Novels, comics, fiction or not. Reading is the only real escape from the inescapable horror of life, the escape into your own mind. A groan rolls through the crowd. Not a lot of readers here, I'd imagine, based on that response. You're much more enthusiastic about drinking. I think she may have been a nerd. I think she may have been a nerd, too. I can't say too much. I'm reading 2 books at the minute, and one of them is a non-fiction book about studying trees. And the other is classic. I'm reading all of H.G. Wells. I'm on The Invisible Man. Considering the situation we're in, it seems an appropriate time to ask you, Horror, what's your desert island book? The one book you'd bring with you if you were, well, on an island like this? Oh, and it has to be a classic horror, for reasons that should be obvious. She means because this is an island of horror villains, and also those books are all in the public domain. Thank you, narrator. Nothing too modern. Humanity has really gotten soft these past 100 years. So what's your favorite? Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde books, no thanks. I think of these options, I like Dracula the most. Dracula is one classic that's still scary. To be seduced by some beautiful stranger only to learn later on that they're an immortal villain. It's downright thrilling. Well, I guess, but I was going to say that despite the deviant behavior of Dracula and the threat of possible danger or even death that he poses, you can't help but get turned on by the liberation from the status quo that he represents. Same here. So what if some old doctor says he's a bad boy? You're supposed to reek like garlic and sleep alone? Who do they think would buy into that? If you're going to be trapped in a nightmare that is undead life eternal, which I know a little something about, you could do a lot worse than great clothes a castle and a lover who doesn't take shit from anyone. The scariest part of Dracula is thinking that no one will ever be quite as interesting to make love to as a vampire. Enough about these old stories that belong to someone else. I think it's time to make up some new stories of our own. Before you know what's going on, Huntress is waving an empty vodka bottle in the air, a devilish twinkle in her half-mask-covered eye. Might I suggest something a little naughty? Let's all get in a circle and spin this bad boy. Tricksters here? Great idea. Trickster, isn't it a little bit late to introduce a new character? I thought I was the one who gets to make the rules, so I'm not sure who's asking. But I wasn't ready for this. Why, hello, and who's this new fan in the waiting? Beat it, hack. I don't know. What's the harm in inviting one person to join the circle for our game? Oh, I can't stay. I'm just saying it's a great idea, while also teasing the secret trickster ending. I've got much, much better things to do than hang out here. I'm famous. Toodaloo. Alright. The rules are simple. First you spin, then you swap. Spit, that is. But let's be clear, this ain't a peep show. We're here to have a good time, but in a classy way. All makeouts will happen out of view of the public eye, real romantic-like. Yes, romance is the goal, so we'll all be waiting here in complete silence, trying to listen in and use our imaginations while you make out on the other side of the bar, but not watching. Like adults. Romantic, well-adjusted adults. Horror, you're up. You grip the bottle in your hand, and put your fate in the hands of the empty bottle gods. Minigames consist of 2 parts. On top, a pointer which rotates in a clockwise direction. And on the bottom, a target you're going to be pointing at. This here upcoming minigame is a special minigame, perfect for the less coordinated because there is no winning or losing. Well, not technically. Wherever the pointer stops, that's your result. I suppose if it doesn't stop where you want it to, that's a bit like losing, but no one has to know if you don't tell them. Okay, ready to play? Would you like me to repeat that? Ready. Away we go. Spin the bottle and see who you're gonna smooch. Oh, Huntress. You got Huntress. You two are meant to be. Psych, you'd have to actually spin multiple times to get the real result. First, to get to 3 times is your true match. That's how we play hardcore spin the bottle here on this island. Now get your spin on. Trapper. You got Trapper. You got Spirit. Trapper again. You got Trapper. 2 Spirit, 2 Trapper. Wraith. You got 2 of everybody except Huntress. Spirit. You got Spirit. Spirit is your true match. Oh, we got an achievement. There's more to this minigame than just reading. Ooh. Hey there, Rudy.
Potatoes.
How are you doing? And make sure. I'm good. How are you today? I'm good. Thank you for asking.
What?
I pulled that strong grass there, you know.
You're just waking up.
You know, give myself a poa that pats on the head with a ding-ding.
I like that.
I could whip that up tonight.
Good.
Oh. Strong grass. Yes.
Just this morning, you were waking up on a strange beach surrounded by strangers with murderous intent. Now you're looking across the beach towel at Spirit, lust in her eyes, sweat glistening on her skin. Your heart races. You can feel your pulse pounding in your ears. Spirit takes you by the hand, and you sit face to face at a private section of the bar. She begins to reach for you, putting her hands on your shoulders. You're sweating, but not in the sexy way she is. You're sweating in the gross way you'd sweat at the interview for a job you're not even remotely qualified for. You don't know what to do. You try and lock lips in the state, or if you try and lock lips in the state, you might gross her out so completely that she'll never be able to look at you romantically again. Spirit, I have some bad news for you. I have something in my teeth, don't I? I think it might be seaweed. I have no idea how long I was in that ocean. No? Well, maybe, but that's not what I was going to say. It's not happening. Not now. Maybe not ever. If they think I'm going to make out with some stranger just because a bottle told me to, they've got another thing coming, and so do you. Namely a katana into your heart if you even try to make a move under such absurd circumstances. I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I know. You seem pretty harmless, and not at all that bad to kiss if I were interested, which I'm not at this moment in time. Are we going to tell them we kissed? We are. I'm not above lying to get what I want. So that thing about me being not that bad to kiss, was that a lie to get me to play along? If you want to know the truth, figure it out yourself. Don't expect this life to just hand you gifts like me. All I was ever handed was pain and suffering. Treat me well and I'll return the favor. Otherwise, try a different route and see what happens. I'd hate to break up such a passionate moment that we only assume was passionate because we never spy on you constantly while you stay on this island. But dinner is being served right away, and we must insist that you join us. You wouldn't want anyone dying of starvation, when there are so many more interesting things to die from. I'm only slightly disappointed we didn't get to make out with Spirit. Seems like the next activity is mealtime? How quaint. You were expecting what? Capture the flag? Do you know how complicated it is to run a game like that? Much more so than sitting and talking. You arrive at the cookout area to find an assortment of picnic tables scattered around. What were you expecting? Some kind of grand hall with a huge banquet table? This ain't some prestigious fantasy epic like you'd find on cable. Dwight and Claudette usher you to your seat, but there's very limited seating directly around you. And, oh great, terrific. Seems that everyone wants to sit next to you. Even better is that they don't want to sit next to certain other people either. To start, no one wants to sit next to Trapper. Meanwhile, he refuses to sit next to Wraith or Trickster. Oh yeah, Trickster is here. Surprised? Yeah, well, they don't call him Expected-ster. I'm sorry, even I get nervous around crowds of killers, and my whole shtick gets a little flustered. Hey there, you're good looking, horror. Real good. And we literally can't let Huntress or Trapper sit together. No, seriously, their arms are too big. They can't fit at that table if they sit side by side. Look at this, we can't even fit everyone on screen at the same time. You'd probably think it was an error, but it's not. It was completely intentional. Let that be a lesson to you. Every error you think you see is a choice. Got that? Okay, Dwight and Claudette are directing traffic. You sit on one side, the rest of them will sit opposite you. Huntress and Trapper can sit at the ends with their enormous, sexy arms. Now that everyone is seated, we can begin dinner. Tonight's meal was prepared slowly and carefully, with both love and hate for 12 hours over a spit. We hope you all enjoy. We really, really hope you do. Hey, you didn't actually tell us what you're serving. What are we eating? It's meat. Seasoned with a specific number of special herbs and spices that we simply can't divulge. My favorite. Meat is good. Meat is murder. Which you know, considering what you've been up to? Who are you to get judgy now? I'm just sharing facts, and you need to murder something to eat its meat, so that's like technically true. Technically true is the best kind of true. I basically said that to my wife the other day, because I asked her where she was living at the minute, and she said space. We were making flat Earth jokes, and she was technically right. The best kind of right. Okay, enough yapping, let's eat. Hey Horror, you thinking what I'm thinking? It's gonna be a person on that spit, right? Several parts of overlapping people, perhaps? I haven't seen many pigs wearing palm tree button-down prints, you know. When you look closely at the spit, you spot what definitely appears to be scraps of fabric sandwiched between some layers of meat. I think I might be sick. Is there anything else to eat? This took 12 hours, and we do literally everything on this island. Actually, there's one thing you're not doing today. You're not carving up this delectable meal. Wow, he's right for a change. Because I am with my broad axe. It's the perfect tool for easily chopping anything in twain. First, who says twain? Sometimes I swear it's like we're all from completely different historical eras. Second, I'll handle this with my cleaver. Fast, powerful, and clean. At least it's clean when the meat is cooked, no blood. Ah, you two and your ridiculous bicep swinging contest, enough! Grow up! Obviously my gorgeous katana is the only option. Obs. The hell it is. Oh, I'll show you both my katana and send you to actual hell if you'd like. Please stop, please. I hate when we fight, or talk, or even when we look each other in the eye. I can't do it. I have the skull of Azarov. Or I can do it. I have the skull of Azarov. Great. Instead of slicing it up, you can club it to a second death. Hey, her. I know this isn't what you want to eat, but hurry up and volunteer to carve up Felix. I mean dinner. Oh no, they killed Felix? Otherwise, this will go on for hours. No hyperbole. They once argued over who had the most effective weapons for 72 hours straight. And it doesn't matter which one does it. When they're done, they will take even longer cleaning their weapon, all while explaining the value in maintaining your tools. Despite being a bunch of cold-blooded killers, for some reason, they are always terrified of tetanus. Hey, why don't you just let me carve up dinner? Splendid idea. We'd hate for it to get cold. He hated when it got cold. Oh god. Here's a machete, freshly sharpened. Okay, minigames consist of two bars on top of pointer which rotates in the clockwise direction, and the target we're pointing at. Is this going to be like a skill check this time? Sometimes the target is immediately visible, sometimes it's hidden until the pointer arrives. Press the spacebar to stop the pointer while over the target to win. Fail to land on the target and you will lose. To achieve a perfect success, land on the start of the target area, not the end. Okay, we're ready to play. Would you like me to repeat that? Ready. Away we go. Slice. Did that count? Not bad. Perfect. Not bad. Not bad. It's so fast. Perfect. That was pretty good. I'd like to see what you could do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I said it. Machetes are dumb. Dinner is finally served. For real. The sounds, especially coming from the masked killers while they eat, which involves lifting their masks and shoving food up behind them, are nasty. Spirit, meanwhile, doesn't even eat. She's the only one who seems to be really embracing being dead. They're all dead, right? This is obviously hell. I mean, come on, we're still trying to be mysterious here. You think mystery comes easy? Claudette and Dwight aren't the only ones who've been working their asses off to make this night perfect. Well, at least they're lifting their masks. This is only 99% as disgusting as it could be if they just tried to mash stuff through here. Or through there. Spirit, why aren't you hungry? The two best things about being dead is not having to eat. That's only one thing. Think about it, Har. Number two. There is no number two. One less thing to think about in the afterlife. Even if I wanted to eat, I have no idea what would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating in a spectral form. Do you see how deep this cut on my abdomen is? I don't even think my digestive tract connects anymore. Between the food and the behavior of the group, this might be the worst meal in history. But even worse is they're staring at you. You're not eating. They don't like that. I think they want an explanation why. What do you tell them? Oh, and thank you for the bits, Joshy. I feel like my sound alerts aren't working. I might have turned too many things off. This is gross, I'm sorry. Look at that seagull. Wow, you ever see a seagull that big? I haven't. That's incredible. Anyway, what were we talking about? Lame misdirect. Yeah, she's right, Har. Pretty lame. Own who you are, never compromise. Didn't you wash up on this island with no memory of who you are and how you got here? Yes, you did. Poor thing. You have no idea, the last time you ate a real meal, and you've been standing in the sun. But the seagull... Uh-oh, you just made a lot of good points. I swear. You're beginning to feel lightheaded. It waved at me. Maybe you need to eat to survive here. Either that or someone poisoned you. No, wait, you haven't eaten, so you can't be poisoned. Whatever the real answer, you're clearly about to pass out. Oh hey, it's me again. Your friend, mentor, and guide. Narrator to the narrator, the Ocean. Not sure how I feel about that characterization. Or, not sure how I feel about that characterization, but I'll allow it. I brought you here, and I might be the only one who can help you now. There's only one thing you must do to survive. You have to figure out why you're really here. No one can tell you, unless you follow the right path, or at least a right path. There's too many of those to count. Hopefully you pick at least one of them. Because there are even more wrong paths. Many of them lead to your demise. Others lead to something even worse. Starting scenes over and having to fast forward back to where you were, am I right? For this place holds many secrets, even from itself. But the one that truly matters can only be learned if you answer the most important question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Answer that and you'll learn the truth. The ultimate truth. Vague, mysterious. I gotta give it up to this Ocean character. That's some quality early game storytelling. Hold on, I'm back. One more piece of advice. You've made many choices by now. Some of them I liked, some of them I did not. It's in your best interest to make more choices that I like. Alright, Ocean. Calm down. You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out over the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feelings inside of me that we're all truly insignificant and the only thing worth pursuing is revenge. I have to wonder, how could anyone believe anything else? You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could they not feel small and alone in the face of such massive nothingness? You've always been alone. You found someone special. Am I saying this, or is this me? Maybe it's Spirit's words, maybe it's the ocean, maybe it's always been this way, but you suddenly feel connected to Spirit's words. I may not remember much about my life before, but there's one thing I know to be true. I've always been alone. And I will always be alone. Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean as looking directly at you now. It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone. Together? It's the best we can hope for. Maybe. Or maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible to pretend we know anything. Is that just arrogance? I was so dumb. I was so busy trying to please everyone and be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself, and now I'm all I've got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny, the purpose that was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but the Spirit looks around to see if there's anyone else on the beach. When she's convinced that it's only you two, she continues. There's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid. That sounds badass, right? But I didn't let it out, and then I, chop chop, and now that dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge beast. But enough about me. What's inside of you, stranger? Nothing but darkness, no dragon, just a lot of fire. Nothing but darkness. I'd kill to have a dragon. Maybe not the best choice of words. I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly though, I don't feel like I've got anything inside me at all, just darkness, never-ending darkness. And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on the island until you arrived. Thank you for recognizing me as a goth, narrator. Perhaps I could light a torch and search through that darkness? Just as things are really heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you and quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped up on the strange island, only to find that it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads. It's very important that we stick to the itinerary and attend each event as scheduled. Playing sick for cute flirt points was not a part of this evening's activities. That's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's scheduled for after what comes after the flirting. Go, 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 go! Once everyone is gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, we're not going to say who, so don't worry, you, hasn't been sticking to the schedule. That means we're behind on time for evening activities. And we'll only have time for one person to share their special spooky nighttime story. Just one story, but story time is my favorite activity. This is a narrative-heavy experience. You're telling us that only one person gets to share? How will we decide? Hey, Wisconsin Sam, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Supposed to give you a shout out automatically. I don't know why things aren't working.
I didn't see anything move though.
Oh great, we have to decide as a group. That never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'll merely chop your head clean off. No fuss, no muss.
I think...
Voice trembling, you realize this is probably it for you. That you embrace your fate. Sorry everyone, I think they're talking about me. To be honest, I still don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. I guess I lost track of time while I was passed out. Been there before, even though it's taking some pressure off of me, which is an absolute dream come true. Is it really fair to pick on the newbie? Seriously, has anything here ever happened on schedule even once? Damn it, Donald. Try to flex that authority gimmick one more time. So help me, I'll snap your head off so quick and then I'll drown you in this blood, Cynthia. Fuss and muss are back on. You two know I love to hack, slash, and slice. Is he mistaking Claudette and Dwight? We all know you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. I renounce my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. But we still gotta get started on story time, so... Horror, what do you think we should do? Ah, damn it, that's a name. Please, pick somebody quickly so that this tropical vacation doesn't turn into a bloodbath. To tell a spooky story. Let's do Wraith, because he likes it. You were doing a coffee stream. Oh, I saw that you put that in my Discord, that you're doing something with coffee. I choose you, Wraith. Whoa, this entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with the catchphrases for you. Oh, is that a Pokemon reference? I'm not really one for scary stories. Life is scary enough as it is. You literally carry around a skull and a spine as your little prop. As the other killers laugh, Wraith holds up his skull and gazes into its hollow, dark eye sockets. If you're looking for something Shakespearean in this story, look elsewhere. This is a tale of madness, of staring at the soul of death and never returning. Once upon a time, a young man worked at a junkyard. The man was quiet, kept to himself, just wanted to avoid trouble. While the boss dealt with clients, the young man operated the crusher, turning old cars into cubes of twisted metal. One day, right before crushing the car, he noticed something. Blood. Drip, drip, dripping from the trunk. He opened it and found a frightened stranger bound and gagged. The young man reeled. Was he about to accidentally murder this stranger? How could this have happened? He freed the stranger and ran off, into the waiting arms of the boss, the owner of the junkyard. Before his shaken employee could tell him about the mistake they had nearly made, the boss took out a knife and swiftly slit the stranger's throat. The young man fell to his knees, unable to comprehend what was happening. As he stared at the ground, too shocked to cry, the boss approached him. "What did you do?" he asked the boss. "I did your job for you." "What do you mean? That's not my job. My job is to crush the cars." The boss let out a miserable scoff, his face contorting in evil disdain for the pathetic wretch in front of him. "Why do you think we're crushing these cars? To save space? Who do you think my clients are?" I don't know, mumbled the young man. Yes, you do, screamed the boss. Deep down, you've always known what was happening here. You just didn't want to admit it to yourself. Your hands aren't clean. My clients give me money and I take care of their problems, eliminate their witnesses, tie up their loose ends. Or actually, you do. No, the young man whimpered as the boss towered above him. Yes, you're nothing more than an executioner. You've reaped hundreds of souls. The young man's body shook with soft spasms as he tried to stop crying. It was when the boss started laughing that it happened. Something in the young man changed. He stood up, now taller than the boss. A faint glimmer of fear overtook the snarl on the older man's face. The young man's face was empty. Empty as he grabbed the boss's throat and dragged him to the car in the crusher. Empty as he picked up the boss and stuffed him inside. Empty as he slammed the trunk down on him, its stupid fat head sticking out begging for mercy. Empty as he started the machine, staring at the boss in the sniveling, crying wet face. Empty as he grabbed the boss's head, dug his fingers in farther, piercing the skin. Empty as he squeezed and pulled, empty as he heard bones popping and snapping. But when the boss's head, still attached to his spine, pulled cleanly out of its disgusting sack of a body, he smiled. Wraith stares back into the eye sockets of his skull. It doesn't matter how good you are, how innocent, how kind, how full of love you once were. When you look into the eyes of evil, you will surely go mad. An awkward silence falls upon the room until... Offer effusive praise. When you look into the eyes of evil, you will surely go mad. My god, that is brilliant. I'm glad you didn't give us any Shakespeare, because that story made Shakespeare look like a slack-jawed, mouth-breathing idiot. Thank you. I'm too overcome. As you sit down, the other killers look at each other, unsure if you're joking. Oh, thanks. Wraith, on the other hand, is absolutely sure you're joking. You may have gone a little overboard. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit so that they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves and you're alone by the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. A true moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds, because Trickster shows up, and he's blaring his latest song. Hey baby, you look lonely. Mind if I join you? He doesn't wait for an answer. I know you've been hearing from these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special in those charges of this island. Something special in those charges of this island.
Potatoes!
Hey there, Smitty. It's okay. I'm glad you got rated in. I end up doing that a lot too.
Still one. I think he's right on it. No, he's down here.
Have a quick
He's going
drink.
for the buy.
Yep,
It's closed. No, one of you go get up.
Got it.
I just realized that Trickster has an inflatable bat. That's funny. I'm the ultimate catch on this island, the only lobster in an ocean of sardines. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me, baby. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused about what to make of his cryptic clues, but you aren't going to get any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Wraith approaches you. Hey, I'm probably not great at making impression. I'm not making a great impression because, I guess that's not really my thing. I just know that if you got to know me, then... I mean, look, the others aren't around. And I really hate the fire pit. I just kind of hate fire in general. Maybe we could go back to the pool. And like, I don't know, whatever, you know? A dip in the pool with the Wraith. You've come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow him, an offer like that. Just don't forget our little talk. I just got another achievement. Trial run. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean to the pool, you're also pretty sure your killer companion could handle it. Hey, do you remember my story? You mean the one you just told, like, a minute ago? Yeah. Yes. Did you, I mean, like, what did you think of the young man in the story? Do you think he's weird? He's not weird. I don't think he's weird, but he is bad, and I'm deeply upset with him. That's not what I meant. He didn't have all the knowledge he needed to begin with, but what's important is what you do with the knowledge once you have it. In the end, he's no better than the monster he killed. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Did the young man remind you of anyone? No. Oh, not really. I mean, can you imagine knowing someone like that? That would be awful. Oh, yeah, awful. Notice the temperature has dropped significantly. Is it cold in this water now, or is it just me? I feel like my toes are turning into ice cubes. Wraith seizes up and squeezes his eyes shut. Please, I can't be around any cube talk. I can't be around any cube talk. Not since, I heard that story from somebody else a long time ago. The story you just told us 2 minutes ago. Exactly. The one that wasn't about me. Usually we'd be nervous that we were about to make things awkward when we barge in, but obviously you couldn't hold a candle. But obviously we couldn't hold a candle to whatever is happening here tonight. Either way, it's time for bed. For you, but not for us. After you go to sleep, that's when we party. After spending all day cooped up in those tight little safari-themed resort uniforms, you just know those two rage late into the night. But you're not here to party with them. You've got your own repressed relationships to tend to. You head over to the campfire. The heat is comforting on this chilly night. Looking into the crackling embers, you think about Wraith's story, about the young man who found out he was part of a sinister plot. What you don't know about your current situation is it something that will terrify you? Something that will make you snap? Wait, I think I misread that. What don't you know about your current situation? Is it something that will terrify you? Something that will make you snap? What if you look into the eyes of evil? What if you like it? You have to go do taxes. Okay, well, good luck with that, Sam. I gotta do mine too. Before you can dwell too much on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive. Their now familiar creepy smile stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see a smile like that lit by firelight. We must apologize for the accommodations. We weren't prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you comfortable or die trying. They hand over a pillow and a blanket and welcome you to snuggle up by the fire. Perhaps some music will put you at ease. Just try to keep the volume to a minimum. Our other guests aren't the types who will want to rob you of their beauty sleep. Our other guests aren't the types you'll want to rob of their beauty sleep. Ready? Away we go. As you relax and look into the fire, the radio begins to fuzz and flicker. You examine it and decide that you might adjust the dial and fix it. Oh no, okay. What am I supposed to do? Let's see what's on this station. It's not bad.
Let's talk about our community. For us, it means two major things. First of all, the community is you out there. It's you and everybody else either playing the game or talking about the game or creating content relating to the game or being inspired by the game to write music or to make outfits. It's everybody that's part of what makes Dead by Daylight this amazingly rich and passionate environment. It means groups of people who interact on every single possible social platform, in person.
Kind of fun that they put the interview on there. It's nice and heavy. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. lot of this isn't good for sleep. Oh, I missed. Let's just turn it off. No matter how many things you listen to, you still can't sleep. You decide to ask one of the killers to spend a little more time with you until you feel sleepier. Who would you like to summon to your side as you lay by the fire? I mean, I want to get Spirit. We were supposed to make out. That hasn't happened yet. Spirit, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Spirit tells you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. I like to listen to flute music, dab on some essential oils, and steam my pores. Really? What? Even the dead like to relax. I don't really have any of those things around. A comb. Spirit reaches out and presents you with a unique item. It's a small comb carved from bamboo. I guess you could hold on to this? It was a gift from my mother. I will want it back though, and if you lose it, well, you'll get your revenge on me. If it's the last thing I do. You finally start to feel sleepy. Except, maybe this isn't really a sleepy feeling. Maybe you're paralyzed. You can try to keep your eyes open, but you can't. Darkness overtakes you. The dark voice from earlier speaks to you again. You shouldn't still be as spooky. By now you've had a whole day of strange voices in your head, but this one is still undeniably odd. The human body is made up of 60% water. Did you know that? Of course you did. Everyone knows that. Even amnesiac video game protagonists. Well, guess what? Drink as much as you'd like. You'll never get to 100%. You hear me? Don't think I don't see what you're up to. You awake suddenly to see someone looming over you. Trapper is sitting beside you, sketching a portrait. Oh, you're awake. I saw you with the Spirit right before bedtime. You should know, they're not what they seem. Not like me, who was obviously completely honest and trustworthy. I was out checking to make sure you weren't sleeping near one of my... Actually, never mind. Just be careful where you sit. But since I'm here, I'd like to share 2 things with you. 1. I do not take rejection well. 2. The first thing is very important to remember. It's funny. Were you drawing me? Trapper doesn't answer. You aren't drawing stink lines radiating out from me, are you? Still nothing from Trapper. Look, I'm not an easy guy to get along with, but I'm an easy guy to spend time with. That will make sense if you choose to spend time with me tomorrow. The rest of this scum live like rats. They wouldn't know a good time if I bit them on the ass. I mean that literally. Point is, if you select me, you're in for a day of luxury, extravagance, and fun. Yes, I said fun. And if I don't pick you, remember what I said earlier? Or it might be the last thing you ever forget. But hey, you look tired. Get some sleep. Or get some rest. Sleep. Maybe even sleep well if you can. Just try not to roll over to the about 15 feet to your left. Finally alone, for real this time, maybe. You drift off to sleep again. Hopefully you're not poisoned. Wait a second, where are we? This isn't... Oh jeez, it is. It's one of those reality show confessional rooms where all of the contestants talk directly to the camera. Look, I don't need anyone. I've been perfectly fine on my own since my mother died. I eat an all-organic diet of raw deer, bear, and human, and I'm fit as a fiddle. That being said, something about this newcomer makes me think that I might be missing out on some huge part of this thing called life. There's always time to turn things around, like that one time I spent day and night searching for food in vain. Only to return to my cabin spent and starving, to find a family of squirrels nesting in my chimney. They were delicious. Look, I'm always full of rage. The key is knowing how to control your rage so you can use it. I'm a master of self-control. Right now I'm using all of the self-control I can muster, because today was a disaster. Let's just say I didn't love it. That was funny. Laugh. I said laugh, damn it. Anyway, I'm planning to kill this idiot. Don't tell them though. I want to lead them on a little more. It will make it that much better for me when they're screaming. I don't really care. This island is full of people who don't really like me, so what's one more? I don't want to get distracted from my plan. Anyways, I know that everyone thinks of me as a beautiful, cold-blooded monster. I can't help it. Circulation just isn't my thing. I don't choose to be cold. This cute hat and robe? Okay, those are a choice, sure. If someone were to come around and capture my heart, at least that beats being stabbed in it. Besides, if I'm gonna get bloody revenge on a society that has used me and threw me away, maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a little help. I survived my first day. You open your eyes, the sun is shining, there's not a cloud in the sky, except for all of these ones. And you feel great, totally well rested. You're not even suspicious of the fact that you fell asleep by the campfire but woke up several yards down the beach. Wait, are you on vacation? Was yesterday nothing more than a strange dream? No, not a dream. You really are here for another day. Why? I have no idea. You're obviously a weirdo. Speaking of weirdos, I see the rest of the gang is hanging out on the beach. This is definitely not a dream. I wouldn't rule out a nightmare just yet, though. At least they make for a sexy bunch, no? And talk about sexy, here comes Trickster carrying coffee. Morning, beautiful. I thought you might like a nice cup of joe to start this incredible day off right. Trickster seems suspiciously cheerful. I'm sure there's nothing nefarious about his joyful demeanor, though. Everyone knows musicians are morning people. I also want to wish you luck. Today is an important one. My only regret is that I won't be a bigger part of it. Budgeting issues. Also, I'm just swamped with engagements, especially on the other island. Trickster winks at you. If you want to ask him how to reach the other island now, it is the never mind, he left. Well, at least he brought me a cup of... No, wait, don't drink that. What the hell was that? They don't call him Trickster because he's good on the skateboard. And he definitely didn't get that name because he brings people drinks so they can have a good morning. That was almost certainly not coffee, and I don't want anyone casually poisoning, imprisoning, and torturing you. Just yet. This is supposed to be a tropical paradise, the type of place that you give a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up review to, not an eternal prison of pain. Please make sure to leave a review. It really helps with the algorithms. Just trust me, I'm looking out for you, so you can please move on. Hey, wait a second. How did a possibly omniscient, possibly unreliable narrator physically just knock that coffee out of your hand? This is not Parliament, and the floor does not recognize the ocean to speak out of turn in this moment. I need no recognition, for I am the ocean. I dominate the land. I submerge those who defy me and become their watery grave. Actually, speaking of graves, I would like to say something of grave importance. Fine, go ahead. Even if this place is an eternal prison of pain, and I'm not saying it is, even a place of extreme horror can still receive a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 thumbs up review if it was crafted with love and or that's the type of thing you're into. You know, the ocean's right. A lot of hard work goes into a place like this. You should really judge it on the artist's intent. Whenever possible, start from the mindset of giving them the benefit of a doubt. Constructing these elaborate simulations, vacations, is not easy to do. Sometimes there is some small bugs or inconsistencies, but that's just the nature of the process. Perfection is overrated. The universe is filled with mysteries. Gotta celebrate those who venture to bare their souls as part of the creative process with the ultimate intent of making things for our enjoyment, not be overly critical of them. Are you two trying to sell me on this place actually being good? You don't have to say it like that, especially after I saved you from that poorly made cup of coffee. Sorry, we should have been here 5 minutes ago. They always do this on the second morning. Sad, really. Even if they do make some great points. Oh sure, they make great points, I agree. Can we please move on? Yes, of course, apologies, horror. The last few minutes aside, have you been enjoying your time here on the island? Yes, I've been having a lovely time. Yes, it's been really entertaining. Yes, I'm not suspicious. There's no option. What an encouraging response. We're so glad you're not suspicious. Hey Claudette, maybe horror isn't suspicious because they figured out what they're actually doing here. Zero chance they're still clicking, even right now, to see how you'll respond. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they don't know anything. It doesn't matter though, horror. We're so happy to hear you're having fun. I didn't say I was having fun. We're all having fun, horror. Did you hear us? We're all having fun. We do need to ask you one more question though. We all had to sign away our rights to say anything negative about this place. Would you please sign this non-disparagement agreement? Sure. Yes, I would hereby agree to participate in a verbal contract stating that I, horror, will never say anything negative about my stay here on this island. Perfect. Delightful. Excellent. Yes, yes. Hey horror, it's still totally cool if you have some constructive feedback. The place to leave that is in a positive review, because we all know that nobody reads negative reviews of games resorts like this. Anyway, I see Dwight and Claudette have gone into a trance, and with the grumbling I hear from your belly, that can only mean one thing. Breakfast. Perfect timing. Everyone rolls into the dining area to lard up those sexy little bellies with pancakes and bacon and so much for maintaining those beach pods. We're all half naked in a tropical paradise. Can we get some strawberries here? A yogurt? Magic powers will only get you so far. Even killers watch their sodium intake. You take your plate and sit down, thinking about yesterday and the whirlwind of feelings you experienced. Danger, dread, disorientation. It was like going through puberty again, except all in one day on a beautiful and mysterious island. It looks like you're not the only one doing some introspection, though. Trapper stands up to talk about how his day went, in case anyone was wondering. Personally, I wasn't. I can't imagine you could make me any angrier today than you did yesterday, but I really hope you do. I really, really hope you do. Unrelated, anyone see where I left my cleaver? Just kidding, I always know where my cleaver is. Well, that was bizarre. Back to your breakfast. Nope. Now Huntress steps up to talk about her feelings. This island is treacherous. I don't know what the newcomer thinks they're doing here, but it certainly isn't helping any of us. Whoa. Huntress pretends to be all independent, but she's secretly kind of miffed you and her aren't getting along. I'm not getting along with Huntress. What are you talking about? Ah, well, that surely must be it. No one else would weirdly stand up during breakfast to... just like that, here comes Spirit. Something's not right. Did anyone else feel especially cold last night? Not in the technically dead sense, but I don't know, some other sense? It's like, for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. Guessing Wraith has had enough time to work up the courage to speak in front of a group. Ah, perfect. There he is. Take us home, Wraith. I'm glad the introduction of horror to our island paradise. And yeah, that was in quotations. Didn't distract me from my normal routine, ignoring all of you and vice versa. This place is an eternal prison of suspicion and suffering and no one cares. I'm still the only one asking any questions. I'm asking questions too. It's, when will Wraith shut up? And now they're all looking at you expectantly. Wait, are you supposed to stand up and explain how yesterday made you feel? I think I need to process everything by myself. I'll see you all soon. Damn, what a power play. Keep on wanting more. You're getting good at this game. Sexy, true-to-life experience. Shame you didn't get to eat any breakfast, but so be it. We never get to eat. It was probably people bacon, though, wasn't it? After breakfast, you head to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. Before you get there, though, something catches your attention. You hear that? Who are you addressing, me? Well, yeah, I guess. That is okay, right? You know, I might be pursuing a relationship with one of these 4 fine killers, but it feels like the person I'm getting to know the most is you, narrator. It's only okay in so much as it serves to illustrate that you've lost your mind, seeing how I'm not real and all. Yeah, I heard it this time. I think it's coming from behind the bullshit. No. game. I'm sure this is innocent, but no. No. Stick it in there. A little more. A little more. Oh, yeah. That's it, yes. How does that feel? Intense. Nice. Yeah, that feels right. This is uncomfortable. Now I want you to take that and put it right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Just like that. Exactly like that. I swear I had no idea these two even do, whatever it is they're doing. I'm afraid to look. Please say something so they know you're close by and can hear everything. Oh wow, look at this super cool bottle of Trickster brand suntan lotion someone left on a chair. Anyone know where I can buy some? Damn it. Oh, come on, a little privacy, please. Dwight is panting and Claudette has a crazed look in her eyes. Sorry, I didn't know how else to let you know I was here. That I could hear you, well, you know. You know what? Or no what? What do you think we're doing? You were doing... Well, I don't know exactly what you were doing, but it sounded like, fun. You think two people trying to find new ways to kill each other in a desperate search to make their own death permanent is fun? Oops. We get 5 minutes to ourselves every day, and we spend it hoping if we stab each other in just the right spot, we won't get resurrected. I've come to believe that the key is finding the exact place we need to bleed out from, and I believe that place is our appendix. Why else would it be there? Makes sense to me. Did you actually think we were me and him? Dwight? You don't have to laugh that hard, they get it. My life is a nightmare, and yet somehow it's never been worse than right now. Let's go, lover boy. I noted all of our entry wounds and our 5 minutes is up anyway. Good luck, horror. You're going to need it. And hey, if you figure out how to escape this island, please make sure your ghost tells us how. That was both a tragedy and a comedy. A cragmedy? Shut up, I like it. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah. You're heading to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. So far, today's been exhausting too. But you're dedicated to achieving a true, centered sense of calm. No drama, no bullshit, just soaking up sun in a heated pool. Today, you're on a date with you. Ooh, I like that. I want to be on a date with me. Who would make the first move? And aside from that disturbing thought, all is going to plan until a shadow blocks your precious sun. Spiky tipped, like a palm tree is bending over to screw with you. But it's no tree at all, it's... Hey babe. Breakfast was weird, huh? Everyone just getting up and announcing how they're feeling. What's that about? Some forced kind of check-in with the group? I don't like it. Fishy. Kinda lazy. Whatever though. Breakfast is dumb. No one should eat before noon, or after 4 p.m. Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. You seen my abs, by the way? Maybe you can see them later at my private stage on the other island. You know, IP Island, where all the Hollywood celebs hang out. If you play your cards right, I could give you a private show. Catch you around. His abs are pretty amazing. You gotta give him that. And the blow-up bat? Threatening, but adorable. Makes for an interesting silhouette. Genius design. I don't like how the game took what I was thinking about the bat. Although his abs are pretty amazing. Like 30 minutes ago, and making me repeat it. He's a psychopath just like the rest of them. You don't gotta give him anything. You know, we're not best friends. Just because we got a little talk about doing a little talking is not an open invitation to go smashing the fourth wall every 5 seconds. Okay, and now that that guy is gone, we've got some ground rules established that we're definitely going to abide by. It's time to lay back, take some deep, slow breaths, and... Nope, another shadow. These people will not leave you alone. Let's see who it is this time. Oh, it's Spirit. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know a place that brings a bit of welcome darkness to this tropical nightmare. Best of all, I'm the only one that seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. I don't even know why I'm telling you, really. It's my private spot, but I guess I've got a feeling that you'll appreciate it in the way that I do. Not like these other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them all. And I'll get my father too. And I'll punish him for what he did to my mother and me. The spirit radiates a menacing aura, waving her sword around in the air as she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary, and more than a little hot if you get turned on by menacing. Look, all this time on Murderer's Island has gotten us both a little confused about things. Choosing to lean into it, I'd suggest you do the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably enough to scare you into compliance, but you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding within her. Which one do you think will win out? You consider her offer, but before you can decide if you want to go off with Spirit, the Huntress interjects. I guess you could go off with Spirit today. She seems pretty cool, actually. I think if we weren't here on this island vying against each other for your attention, we might actually be friends. We might have something though, you and I. I couldn't let you go off to her goth lighthouse without speaking up first. Does she know about the lighthouse? Yeah, I know her secret spot. I see everything through the holes in this adorable mask. So my offer stands. We can still hang out today. Plenty of room at my cabin. Wink wink. It's pretty cute that Huntress thinks she has to say wink wink out loud. The mask barely even hides her face. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly, because you can only go on one date today. You also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that these are all cold-blooded killers. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Unless you're Cave Johnson. And then die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because the lemons were poisoned all along. Sorry, this island has really got me tilted. So who will it be? I'm gonna go with Spirit. I feel like if I stretch things out for too long, we'll be here all night. I gotta go with Spirit. She asked first. That's my reasoning. You've made the correct decision, but know this, just because you picked me doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog, understand? Damn. Well, of course, you've still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before. Literally, with a katana. A katana that I now wield in spectral form, you feel me? Because you will feel me if you try any of that macho trapper crap. Yeah, I feel you. Before you ask Claudette and Dwight to clarify, I'll just let you know that yes, it is too late to change your answer now. Morose match. You and Spirit arrive at the coast overlooking the Black Lighthouse. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. You look Spirit up and down and notice that she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Is black your favorite color? Black isn't really a color at all. It's the absence of color. It's a void. Okay. I'm gonna get color theory technical on Spirit. I'm breaking the fourth wall myself. Black is actually all of the colors, and white is the absence of colors. But anyway, I guess if we're talking additive. Otherwise, white would be all of the colors because of using light. That's besides the point. Moving on. Like me, Spirit smiles. Nature abhors a vacuum. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The lapping waves on the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit, everywhere she goes, blends perfectly with the mist rolling up over the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place, and so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however. The lighthouse lets out an eerie howl, like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh yeah, it does that. The light and sound recede, and the two of you just sit in silence. Spirit lays a towel down, and then pats on it gently. Clearly she wants your company, so you oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get a little hands-on action. What else could it be? Thanks. Thanks, I forgot to bring my own when I lost my memory and fell into the ocean. No problem, I figured as much. The spirit turns away while you slather lotion all over your body. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? You see a hand float around your back. Sure, why not? Spirit's hand on your back is ice cold, but she has a soft touch. When she's done, she takes care of herself. You watch a spirit apply sunscreen to herself in the most unique way, by floating her hand around her back to spread it on. Comment on her floating hand's ability. Say nothing. Ask about the shards of glass sticking out from her. Whatever, just comment. The fact that your hands just float around you like that, you can reach things way easier than I can. It's almost like you're some kind of superhero. I'm glad you get a kick out of it, but floating severed limbs isn't exactly the type of superpower you think to wish for as a kid. I'd much rather be able to read minds. Maybe then I'd understand why some people act the way they do. I'll apologize. Truly sorry. I really hadn't thought through what your experience was like. Sometimes humor is how you deal with uncomfortable situations, but clearly you read the room wrong. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end up like that. It had to have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it. It literally made me who I am right now. Truth is, I could pull all these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me, and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play this universe's game. I hate the idea that I'll be forced to succumb to pressure the way he did in the end. The way that fear and anger filled him up and then came bursting out. The way his misery flooded our home and drowned us all. Yeesh. It's not hard to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it, even though it gives me strength. I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was, I'm sure of it. I appreciate that, Har. I suppose a little help isn't a bad thing. In life, in love, this world is a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistance reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into these vengeful poses, it really does a number on my joints. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Oh, is this a minigame? Some of their behavior really likes feet, don't they? Oh, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Ah, not bad. Perfect. Not bad. Well, I suppose that the lotion made it where it was supposed to go to be going. Well, I suppose that the lotion made it to where it was supposed to be going eventually. And you weren't too incredibly wasteful. I'm not a woman who believes in rushing through things just to get them done. If there is a next time, I'm sure you'll do even better. You look over the lighthouse, its ominous dark form hovering above this moment between the spirit and yourself. Evil as it clearly is, in this case it does you a solid by blurting out another ominous moan and burst of black light that rescues you from this awkward silence. There's a ghost ship now? Why is there a ghost ship? From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows, itself a thing of death, a spirit of a ship that once sailed these seas centuries ago. A tattered black flag whips in the ocean air above the ship as it careens toward the shore, before crashing on the rocks. It must have been drawn in by the lighthouse. You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ghost ship breaks up and sinks into the water. Oh right, it does that sometimes too. You think Houndmaster is on that ship. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean is quiet again except for the waves. Note to self, hungry sharks. But these time-traveling pirates, or whoever they were, you're half sure you saw one of those skull and crossbones flags. We're the only ones drawn here today. It's Wraith. He's emerged from the palm trees behind you. I didn't come to break up your date or something. I came here for that. Wraith points to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I've been seeing it in my dreams, shining its strange light on me. I can't avoid it. Through woods and walls, nothing seems to stop it from reaching out to me. Duh, it's a haunted lighthouse, a wanted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me. Those dead pirates or that mermaid I saw washed up on shore that one time. Ew. Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close to as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess, if you get my drift. It's all part of a vast conspiracy, an epic river of lies that runs beneath the island, or something. I'm pretty sure I figured it out, the basics anyhow. If you come with me, you can get cut! Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off of Wraith's tropical top. He takes the hint and backs away, a few steps slowly. For the quiet guy, he really never shuts up. Okay, be that way, you'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deathly moans quiet, and Wraith vanished back to wherever he hangs out. You scooch close to the spirit, breathing in the damp foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole fog thing works, but you don't even care. You're feeling this moment. The spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust her robe, and you get a peek at the bathing suit beneath. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she put a lot of work into getting that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on what's happening with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst in on you and interrupt what you were doing. It doesn't seem like they were worried if they'd bump into much. We're here to make a very dramatic announcement. Well, technically we're here to invite you to join us back at the beach. We'll be making a very dramatic announcement. It's hard to be the producers and the hosts. Aren't survivors supposed to work in groups of 4? Haha. When you arrive at the beach, you realize you were set up. Despite promising an announcement, Dwight and Claudette simply stand quietly. This isn't at all what was promised. Wait a minute. There's no announcement here. But there is me. You got mud in your ears, friend? I told you to get lost. Don't you see? Lost is what I am, and so are you. But I know the way out. I've got a map back in my secret lair, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and spend the rest of the night with me instead. You've got a secret lair. Damn it. Who said anything about a secret lair? I said I've got, sap. Sap in my secret hair? There's a flap on my secret chair? Don't change the subject. Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a mess of the first nice day I've had in I don't know how long, because it's not even clear what year it is, but in a while. I'm not about to be ditched for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up. Like I keep trying to tell you, it's this dang island. I've come to accept the difficult truth. What's happening here? Well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision. It's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What would you even know about fighting? All you know is hiding in your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your little bell. So don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was born a fighter. A dragon lives inside me. I can't not fight, even when all I might want to do is hide. Don't you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor. If I do have a fate, my fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks. Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You do your phase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking, and we all know that cloaking is a type of hiding. Folks, you cloak? I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. You have no idea what they're talking about, but this sure sounds like some video game community forum thread minutia, if there ever was such a thing. Not that you know about that either. it sure doesn't seem like Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's on you. I think I was brought here to make this choice, so I'm going to do that now. And I choose. I mean, I'm working so hard with Spirit. I'm sorry, Wraith. But it comes down to it, neither of these two seem easy to love. I mean, damn. Spirit literally has broken glass shards sticking out of her. But she has a certain charm to her glue. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, if it's my fate to end up on this island, well, to hell with fate, really. And don't take this the wrong way, Wraith, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day, no wonder you're so skinny. While that second guessing yourself must burn a lot of calories. God, why am I roasting Wraith? No offense taken. Yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess, sometimes. Right, so I'm going to stick with Spirit. Spirit breathes a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenging to do without having to kill you and Wraith too. Spirit walks you around a corner to show you something that she discovered in this place and knew was meant to be connected with her journey. A cherry tree. It's just a small sapling, but it has begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make sense to see a cherry tree here, in this place. It also doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit, so, you know, just accept it. As Spirit steps up to the tree, a cold breeze pulls some of the petals off and they come cascading through the air around both of you. Do you know the meaning of the cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic. Of course, like all good symbols, their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is like being at a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they might be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason they're also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's the specter of looming death that calls attention to the special moment, to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel, horror? Empowered. The knowledge that life and death are a cycle has always given me peace. Accepting the fleeting nature of life, like the beauty of a flower in bloom, allows me to appreciate the moment without being too hung up on what comes next. As you explain, Spirit's face begins to look sad to you. Not sure why. It's not the happiest topic, life and death, but why should that matter? And then it dawns on you. Spirit has been trapped in this ghastly state of death with no hope to cycle back. No rebirth, her moment of blossoming life long gone. That scary time of death and decay that comes after the good part. That's Spirit's eternity. I feel like an idiot. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't even thinking about you. I just answered from the heart. I can't let that bother me. Our priorities are not the same. I have my mission. Once, the fallen cherry blossoms represent the souls of samurai warriors. Those with noble characters, those who did not fear death, those who were killed in the greatest sacrifice to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it. They held their swords and struck down their fear. But despite the samurai spirit that lives on in me, and my noble bloodline, my life has ended, and my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree, it's not real. Though its petals fall, they soon replenish. It's as if it were installed here by someone. You watch as Spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something with no respect for the balance of life and death. We're sorry to interrupt. God damn it, Dwight and Claudette. You know we don't believe you, right? Yep. But this time we've got a really good reason. And it has nothing to do with us being manipulated by an unseen force, because it's definitely not happening. Nobody accused you of that, but okay. We're just here to tell you that it's time for dinner, silly. Get it while it's hot. I guess it's time to go, or whatever. thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me too. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Better. No, you really are feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. And how many songs is this going to make me reference? Because now I want to do All American Rejects. But enough gentle ribbing, it's time to get back to business. All the appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we all cram them all on screen at the same time again, so just believe me, they're all here, and they're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone's being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Wraith seems like the biggest long shot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. And heaven knows they won't do any better than that. I was sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare, so tonight, none of that. I'm not really hungry anyway, so I say we just do a simple salad or something. The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo is gross. I'm fine with just lettuce, it doesn't have to be fancy. Not iceberg though, it has no nutritional value. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake, that's on all of us. Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure. But how will you describe it to the others? Say too much, or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. Be coy. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in a relatively close proximity to each other. That's exactly right. Couldn't have not said anything of value better myself. Spirit is clearly happy with the way you portrayed your date. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica, not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Is that a reference to The Terror? That might be a reference to The Terror. Bony appetite. Don't you mean bon? No, almost everything we served has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. It's impossible to avoid on this island, yet bone apple tea. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, take a napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? I'll thank them. Your top-notch service is much appreciated. In fact, here. For us? Just for doing our jobs? Thank you kindly. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen. Something that I messed up will change everything. You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes. Because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving toward the fire pit, if only to get away from Wraith's complaining. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will the narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in. Something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh cool, now everyone is looking at you. So, you know, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades? Boggle? Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoots lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now, you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. I know that the fire is right here, but maybe if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, you know, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Arro's about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. Fine, I'll tell the story. Sure, I'm game to tell a story. I hope it's a mystery. Okay. So what type of story do you want to tell? What kind of story should we tell? Why don't we tell an action story? Here's an action-packed yarn for you lot. The time I got into a bar fight. I guess if we forget that I'm supposed to be an amnesiac. The group is interested. They lean in. I'm all ears. I'm all ears, and I'm not talking about the bucket of them I have on my boat. You crack open a beer by smashing the bottle cap off on the nearest rock before starting. I'm at the local watering hole, powering up with my regular 12 beers before I slay at the pool table. Slay is good. Steely Dan blasts from the jukebox. The bartender's tip jar is filled to the brim. I pound the final pint and smash the glass on the counter as I demand shots for the entire joint. The patrons cheer for me. I am their god. Suddenly, I hear the telltale revving of engines outside. Motorcycles. The saloon doors swing open. Wait, it's a saloon now? And in walks my arch-nemesis Big Slim, the giant of North Toledo. He sounds sexy. Thought I smelled something acrid from Akron when I hopped off the hog, Slim says with a sneer. I get up from my stool, the gal behind me rubbing my shoulders, revving me up for an inevitable fight. Long way from home, aren't we, Slim? What are the fine people of Elm Street going to do without someone to sell them someone's second-hand cufflinks tonight? I taunt him. He strokes his oily beard. This story has a lot of specific geographic references in it. I have a perfectly good job at the pawn shop. Why are you coming in yelling at me like that? Slim yells. That's fair, I scream back. Why do we even hate each other? I can't even remember. Something about me cutting you off in traffic, but it was a misunderstanding, Slim yells. Well then, let's hug it out, I say, tears starting to well in my eyes. And we made up. What about the bar fight? Oh yeah, we got into a real blowout fight later that night. Really yelled our proverbial heads off, but it was just an argument about whether you should say pop or soda. Come on. I gave up a headlining at Coachella for this. Spirit laughs hysterically, probably laughing at you, but it's a laugh you're ready to accept. That sure was a kind of story, technically. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry, but this narrator keeps it real. You can't just end there. So, who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. I mean, I want Spirit, so we're pursuing Spirit now. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this one from someone in the past who is dead now and can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride. Technically, I suppose the fiancé. One winter, a young couple decided that the next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they decided to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful shabby chic farmhouse. Together, they spent months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figuring out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lilicoy, by the way, so fancy. But when it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing cargo shorts and open-toe sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Having decided on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancée decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day, she spent hours mapping out where the best blooms could be found and prepared to pick them herself the morning of the wedding, so that they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods she surveyed, the bride, the fiancé, since they had not yet been married, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were so that she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancé told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a once familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow, it was more beautiful now than it had ever been before, and just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant and colorful she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time she did, she noticed just further ahead, and possibly even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring air, the fiancé crept farther and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy fallen tree trunk and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not how she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems and festering into festering moldy piles on the floor. Where bees had been, now only flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked and walked and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there were no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are. Out there, all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad. Just like someone we know. That was the story time. A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, and I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, Har, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that, we don't really actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk get in the way of a romantic Twilight moment. Dwight, I'm going to need you to shut your yap trap. You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Okay. You have fun tonight. And try not to wink end up dead. Why did you say the words wink out loud, and what kind of double entendre could you be getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit, she doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear someone trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in. God damn it, Trevor. What do you say we take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak this bond while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Please, enough talk of burns, things that are lit or getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. On those spindly legs, you're probably tired before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded horror is after, they should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice and it's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that corporations can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade, drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novella printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on? Wait, does it really turn anyone else on or just me? Wait, is Trapper into Spirit now? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for a moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives, or, you know, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murderer's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either. But with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because, that guy. I mean, obviously. Spirit. Oh, you picked me, yay! Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise phoniness, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over these other killers at all costs, even when I hate the game and the prize, but I had a long day. Floating, subverting expectations, grinding my teeth as I imagine sweet, sweet revenge. It takes a lot out of me. So don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and getting to really know who I am is an impossible task not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart in an instant. I don't know the rules here any better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to find Dwight and Claudette both holding cocktail shakers, surrounded by a bevy of bottles for assorted boozes. Who's ready to get wasted? Well, I don't drink, so not me. You really don't drink ever? Is that like because it will just fall out a hole in your stomach thing? Or I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is poisoning the body and the mind, and I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. Then why did you choose a mixology lesson as your romantic nighttime activity? Everyone knows that this kind of date is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true, not a single person has ever learned anything at one of these things. Dwight, now that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in a stem using only your tongue. Whoa. Who ordered the soda with a splash of my private business? Because that's off menu. Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget tonight. Mixology is a real thing and it doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father, on whom you will have your bloody vengeance. Right, well so be it. How about you, Har? Do you drink? For the sake of spirit, we'll stay sober. I've got the impression that tonight will be a night I want to remember perfectly, so I'm going to pass on the alcoholic drinks. Here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. You watch as Spirit picks up a plump cherry and roughly stabs a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere, and his little fruity guts flop out onto Spirit's lap. See? One of the upsides of wearing black, it hardly shows stains. No take-backsies. So, lovebirds, what drink shall we make? How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Please allow us to demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made. First, rum, or in this case, rum extract and a little bit of apple juice is poured over ice. And then, fresh ginger beer is added in. Garnish with a lime wheel, and drink. The end. I actually have a ginger beer in the fridge, and I might need it after all of this reading. Do you think you're up to the challenge of replicating this recipe, Har? Replicating rum substitute and ginger beer over ice? Don't forget the lime wheel. Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Not sure I appreciate your tone, but yes, you got it. You're a natural. A sassy natural. You and Dwight might have more in common than don't you dare. Spirit seems to be in a lovely mood as she sips her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On cue, a literal dark storm begins to make its way in from the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time left to relax. Wanna make out a little? Forward. You breathe in a sip of your drink and immediately begin coughing before you can get a yes out. Lightning strikes a palm tree on the beach and it immediately starts a fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar. Okay, I don't know how much longer this is going to go on. I'm out of water and my throat is very dry. Give me just a minute to refill it. I'm still recovering from the cold, and it's basically in my throat, so be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm all lubed up and moist now. The gang all together again on the volleyball court. Seems like only yesterday you were sitting on the sidelines watching everyone get sweaty. That's because it was? Boy, feels like we've been here a lot longer than that, actually. It's so late that the sun is already beginning to rise. Better get this over with quickly so that I mean you, can get some beauty rest. I do not recommend the eternal damnation of perpetual narratordom. Good thing you've really used your time well since then. Really getting to know the gang, the brain, the mogul, the basket case, the psychotic bunny girl. You know the 4 types of people. Anyway, everyone is gathered on the volleyball court for a new type of game. Pick your dream date and see who horror chooses. Who's ready for a round robin? How round are we talking? No, not to eat, Huntress. Each killer gets 2 minutes to tell you all about their dream date they have planned for you tomorrow. In no particular order, which is a weird thing to mention, right? Almost like the order does matter. Wraith, why don't you go first? You look like you'd hate that. Stop talking. Sorry, anyway, Wraith. Well, I don't know. I'd really prefer to just tell Horror privately. I don't really know how that's going to work with these game mechanics. What if you just whispered it to Horror? Wraith considers this for a long moment. Too long. That's fine. Without moving, Wraith lowers his voice to a barely inaudible whisper. Tomorrow, we have to find my bell. And then I can finally tell you about what I've been working on. It's going to be really special, the kind of thing where we really bond. And maybe finally get off this island. And maybe then we can go on a real date. You done? Is that it? Wraith nods, proud. Great, Huntress, why don't you take it from here? Tomorrow morning, I'm planning on a nice atmospheric breakfast on the yacht. Don't worry, Trapper won't even know it's gone. What was that? Nothing, go away. Then, oh boy, I've got such an adventure planned, and it involves hunting for treasure. What kind of treasure are we looking for? Guess you'll have to pick me to find out. Let me tell you, it's primo stuff. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to start preparing, because it's clear already that you're going to pick me. Confident, mysterious, I like it. Hit us, Spirit. Figuratively? Damn it, Dwight, you gotta watch your words with these people. Tomorrow, you'll spit in the face of God, die, and be reborn anew. That's it? If you're not intrigued by that, I don't want you. Go draw crayon art with Trapper. Go dig crayon art with draw crayon art with Trapper, or dig up whatever mysteries with Wraith. I don't know what those guys do all day. Do you want to at least specify which god you'll be spitting in the face of? All of them. Okay then. So hydrate tonight if you intend to hang with Spirit. Trapper, without further ado, would you like to make us all uncomfortable by pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable not only in polite society, but within the narrative of this in-world event, and also the larger meta-narrative of Dead by Daylight dating experience? Sometimes you gotta just say it. Why yes, thank you, I'd love to. So, Horror, you're thinking of picking me? Well, this is your final warning. Pick me and be punished. And rewarded. Tomorrow will suck. Probably. I'm not an easy guy to get along with. I know that. But I can tell you this much. I'm hiding a secret on this island that will make fans shit themselves with excitement. If you like Trapper, you're gonna love it. And if not, you're a maggot. Also, everyone, even confident sexy ladies in rabbit masks, better stay the hell away from my yacht. And time's up, everyone. Gosh, you'll need to dream about these options so you're ready to choose in the morning. Now go dream about all these swoon-worthy options so that you're ready to make a choice come dawn. Have a swell night. Did you two forget to mention something? Oh, oh gosh, how could we forget? Before you run off to slumber peacefully, there's one more thing to do. No reality survival competition parody would be complete without singling out one of our contestants who is already teetering on the edge of a psychological break, and giving them a little push. Hold up, this has been a survival dating competition parody this entire time, and I'm just now finding out about it? Come on, the signs were there, you just didn't read them. Welcome to Murderer's Island. Now it's time to eliminate one of the killers. Oof, it's like a butchering, but it hurts even worse. You can't kill a killer, but can you break their hearts? Do you dare to even try? You mean... That's right, tomorrow one of these sexy slicers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it gonna be? But why? Because it's dramatic? Because it's surprising? Because it's a classic reversal of fate? And it will hurt someone's feelings. Someone dangerous. What's it gonna be, champ? What's your thought process here? Trevor seems like he might throttle you in your sleep if you eliminate him. That being said, at least you'd see him coming. Spear could be anywhere, she floats. I hear she can disappear, hard to track. Eek. If you get rid of Wraith, he might cry. And although I totally support normalizing men crying and being vulnerable, it just seems like he might be an ugly crier. Huntress, she might pretend to be okay with it, but then you'll start seeing her behind every tree. What I'm trying to say is, I don't envy you, boss. So which sociopath are you eliminating? I think we're gonna get rid of Wraith. If I understand correctly, he's lost his bell, so he should not be able to cloak. Look, I'm here and I'm... Look, I'm here and I'm horny, and I'm not really getting positive reinforcement from you, Wraithy Poo. Please don't take this personally, it's just my opinion of you and who you are and what you're about deep down as a person and how I don't like it. Like, give me something, you know? A kiss, a wink, hold my hand. Finish telling me about this mysterious stuff you're obsessed with. Or better yet, don't. Wraith rises, taller than you've ever seen him, and calmly walks to the exit. Before he leaves, he turns to you. When you came here, I thought perhaps you would be different. I don't know how my last bit of hope in humanity hasn't been snuffed out, but it wasn't. It is now, just like the rest of them. There's no hope of goodness here. The only thing I can do is try to escape. Or burn everything and everyone to the ground. He leaves. Pretty badass exit, I was not expecting that. Now that you've broken the heart of someone heartless, you should go get some shut-eye. And don't worry too much about the broken heart you've left behind. Because of course they'll be receiving a consolation prize. They might not get to go home with horror when this is all over, but they'll never sleep alone again. That's right, we're sending our eliminated player home with... their own mostly new Trickster body pillow. The next best thing to to the real Trickster. It might not hug you back, but it definitely won't try and stab you. And how do we know? Because we've tried it. That's right, it's Dwight tested. Claudette approved. Hope you sleep well tonight, Horror. You're my hero for what you've accomplished. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you've done? No, not because of the guilt. I mean knowing that's a legit homicidal maniac who hates you so close by. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you'll do tomorrow? I don't know how you'll do it, but you better go before Dwight and Claudette come back and put you to sleep themselves. You know, those two schedule. Wow, what a crazy way to end the day. An elimination. I didn't even know that it was that kind of game. Let's check in with everyone, especially our loser, before everyone deserves a send-off. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. I know I seem all excited on Devil May Care, but the truth is, I'm really a pessimist at heart. That tends to happen when your mother is skewered by an elk when you were young. Yeah, how'd you know? Wild guess. It's also the only thing you talk about. If you'll excuse me, I think I saw a raccoon in that tree and I'm feeling peckish. I know I said some things when Horror kicked me to the curb, and I just wanted to say I'm embarrassed for how I acted. Not what I said though, I stand by it. I want everyone here to burn. How would I say things are going? It's a matter of perspective. If Horror's goal is to impress me, things are going poorly. But if Horror's goal is to get themselves killed, they're doing an amazing job. Of course Horror is into me, why wouldn't they be? I'm thoughtful, beautiful, surrounded by a calming mist. I've also got great hair. And since I'm technically dead, I'm extremely low maintenance. Look, I don't like to throw the term anime waifu around too often, but if the body pillow fits, snuggle it, you know what I mean? What? No, you're not a part of this. You don't get a confessional. It's cool, man. I'm not a part of anything, you feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's machine. I'm my own machine. This whole thing is pretty cute though. Charmingly low budget, old school marketing vibes. Not gonna lie, I kinda wish I wasn't so busy right now. I'd definitely be down with a reality show style dating competition with survival elements. But I've got my new album, upcoming tour, finalizing the new sneaker line, producing a limited series on my life, starting a new social media NFT crypto app, and doing these private gigs over on IP Island. My dudes, you gotta come check it out. IP Island, it's dope. It's where the real killers are hanging out. Fully licensed, no legal drama. Lawyers, take a hike. I'm gonna tell everyone that Trickster said that about them, don't worry. I'm talking about your favorite established characters from all over pop culture that can't be seen on this island. Hell, you probably can't even mention them, like Don't you say it. Look, we get it. You're very popular and in demand, but we have a game to get back to, and I don't want to get sued. Ghostface. Come on. Whatever, I don't care. I don't even care. I'm the Trickster. See you around, horror. You too, narrator. I have a name, you know. You do? Yes. Seriously, they do not pay me enough to deal with you people. Is it my turn? What? No. No, it's not your turn. You're sentient water. How are you even sitting in that chair? What's a chair? It's that thing you're getting all wet. Now it's gonna smell like mildew. Okay, rude. Fine, let's just get this over with. It's your turn, Ocean. Do you want to check in? Check in? I was just looking for the bathroom. Bathroom? Or are you serious? It's down the hall to the left. It's okay, never mind. Never mind? What does that mean? No, not you two. This wasn't meant to be a confessional time for literally every character in this game. It's okay, we don't have to confess anything. We've just been working our asses off for 2 days straight and wanted to sit down somewhere. This chair is wet. Yeah, I think the ocean just peed on it. How is that possible? You know what, I don't care. You two are looking pretty pleased with yourselves. I've got something to confess. Oh great, what's it gonna be? You ate glue in the 2nd grade, you cheated on an algebra test once. Watching Wraith get eliminated was the first time in this unending spiral staircase of pain that is my life that I've even felt a modicum of joy. Every minute that I'm alive is a nightmare. This place, this sun, these sweet sugary drinks, it sounds fun for a long weekend, but for an eternity? The unrelenting rhythm of crashing waves and wailing seagulls is like a crescendoing song of evil that makes me question the very foundation of the universe. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? What kind of sentient being would do this to us? Please, erase me from this existence. Make it so I was never born. Pull the plug on this experiment and let my soul be free. And please, please, get me out of this polo shirt. Okay, let's get you to bed, buddy. I don't want to go to bed. Going to bed means eventually I'll have to wake up. Yikes. What a weird way to end. Ah, well, what are you gonna do? You let the camera roll long enough, someone is bound to say something crazy. Anyway, seems like everyone's had their shot to annoy me tonight, so hit the hay and get some rest. Tomorrow's gonna be a doozy. Soft sunlight warms your skin, nudging you awake. Also, you're using a killer crab as a pillow, which is sort of okay with. What's that? You don't know about the killer crabs? Oh right, you didn't go on that huntress date. You really missed out. It was thrilling. Or I guess it would have been. You'll have to play the game again to get that reference, I suppose. You pull on your beach attire and splash water on your face. Dwight and Claudette approach. Is that look on their faces excitement? Terror? You notice your stomach flutters with butterflies. Someone's in love. Or you've been infected with zombie butterflies in your sleep. It has happened here before. But it's probably the love thing. It's time. Claudette gestures to the beach where the killers all stand flanked by tiki torches. It's a scene very reminiscent of a TV show you used to hate watch with your ex. Suddenly, the message is clear. You're going to declare your affections for a killer in front of several other killers. Hey, isn't Trickster supposed to be here? We paid him good money to make some half-assed cameos in this show. I'm gonna chew his agent out. Have a drink real quick. And speaking of Survivor references, I used to apply to go on Survivor because I thought I could do pretty good at it. Never went anywhere. But I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I did apply to be on the Squid Game live action competition show that Netflix did. And I did make the shortlist. I got a call back and I had a phone interview. Ended up not doing it, but yeah, it was really weird to to even make it that far. It was interesting. It was quite a phone call. Anyway, suddenly the message is clear. You are going to declare your affections for a killer in front of several other killers. We've read this. We'll read it again. Hey, isn't Trickster supposed to be here? We paid him good money to make some half-assed cameos in the show. I'm going to chew his agent out. But before they walk you over for your big moment, don't think we haven't noticed how kind you've been to us, Horror. It can't be easy being thrown onto this mysterious island for seemingly no real reason, surrounded by terrifying killers trying to manage your most primal impulses. Murder and making out. And you've kept a cool head and treated us your friendly island host, with dignity and respect. So don't tell anyone we told you this, but Claudette and Dwight look around conspiratorially. Just a little hint for you going forward. Don't try to go all the way with a killer who wasn't into you. Relationships are two-way streets, and if you don't have a green light in the other direction, you might end up in the friend zone. The friend zone? That doesn't sound so bad. Where do you think you are exactly? Dead by Daylight doesn't do friends. There are killers and there are survivors, and I'm afraid we can't say more. Okay, so who's into me? Claudette and Dwight look around conspiratorially again. Well, I've never seen Spirit open up to anyone like she has opened up to you. I've seen her open up the insides of plenty of people, but thankfully for you and for us, that's in a different type of game. So are you ready? Of course you're not, but too bad, we're on a schedule. You make your way over to the row of hotties. Claudette and Dwight stand off to the side, hands behind their backs. It's been quite the 48 hours, but there are clearly sparks in the air, and I'm not just talking about this rusty chainsaw, though I do recommend staying away from those sparks. It's time for our newcomer to confess their love. Wait, I have to do a drum roll for this. No you don't, but who cares? Horror, who do you choose for your solo date? Can we at least do the flower thing? Dwight, I thought we agreed to keep that between us. No, not that flower thing. The thing where the suitor gets a flower as a symbol of their contestant's love and affection. Oh, right. I suppose. But no roses, they're such a cliche at this point. Well, that's good, because I tried to pick a rose, but I got an ouchie, so I settled for these. Beautiful. You've done good, Dwight. This is a lovely bouquet. I hope Dwight saved some of these for Claudette. They're a thing, right? You're getting that vibe too. Just me? Sorry. You've got other things to think about right now. Horror, who do you select to receive these flowers and spend the day with you today? I mean, obviously Spirit. It's been Spirit all along. You approach Spirit, peering below the brim of her impressively large hat and into her haunting eyes. Spirit, since I've met you, I've been enchanted by your presence. You've challenged me to be a better person and resisted the urge to show me the sharp end of your katana. For that, I thank you. I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. And we shall, up to the eye of the dark storm that is our reality, to the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. It's time to see what you're made of, Horror. I thought it might be nice to start the day out on Trapper's Yacht before we head up to the Black Lighthouse. Even if I kinda hate this basic tropical vacation stuff like yachts and snorkeling or whatever, it's good for you to see me in the sun a little bit, at least. There's more to me than what you've already gotten to experience. I know that my whole vibe can be a little dark. The hat, the swimsuit, the plume of floating hair. This wasn't who I always was. I was a normal young woman once, went to school, hung out with friends. I even had a part-time job working at a restaurant in town. And then, well, I know what happened. Your father, he murdered me and I awoke as an undead avenger. That's not what I was getting at. Something else happened to me. I realized I needed to be seen. I didn't even know by whom. A lot of time when you think about ghosts, there are these kind of see-through flickering specters. You imagine reaching out and having your hand go right through them. Ooh, like that sort of thing. Maybe there's some warpy effect on the world around you. I don't know. Depends on which movie you're watching. But when I died, well, I dare you to try and reach your hand through me. Not really. That's not an invitation, it's rhetorical. Why did I end up this way? You brought me here to this island. Who knows? I sure don't. I've got my ideas, but I'm not exactly out there digging around in caves or dusting off antiques and trying to find clues and analyze their meanings. I do want to take this experience seriously, though. I want to give the process a chance. It may be a dumb process, and one that I have extremely little respect for as a person. But you just woke up on this beach with no memory of who you are or where you came from, and rather than freak out and simply try and swim away, you're giving this a chance. I actually didn't know that swimming away was an option. It's not. However, the fact that you never even tried, I think that means you've got courage, or an open mind, or, I don't know, maybe you stuck around because you like someone you met here? Maybe. While the two of you were getting all deep and philosophically flirty, the yacht pulled up to the shore next to the Black Lighthouse. Last stop, everybody off! There were other stops. Oh, no, not of this trip, of your life. Spirit rolls her eyes and leaves for the shore. I'm just messing with ya. There was only one stop. Nobody here is really looking out for our fun, so we have to make it for ourselves. But no, there are no other stops. Seriously, go. Race you to the poop deck, Dwight. This ship doesn't even have a poop deck. Oh, it will. Oh god. As you disembark, you see Dwight and Claudette run giggling across the ship. Too bad you can't date those two. They seem like they know how to have a good time. They're swabbing the poop deck. You arrive at the beach near the majestic Black Lighthouse. Its imposing form towers above you. A flock of birds circles lazily, no sense of fear or urgency, as if circling a corpse that hasn't moved in ages. I'm excited about today, see? Spirit places her wrist delicately in your hand and presses your fingers down against her skin. It's cool to the touch, but you feel... is that the faintest pulses? My blood is absolutely pumping! So, what happens now? Now I show you something that no one has ever seen up close before, well, no one who has lived to tell about it. We're going there. Spirit points to the top of the lighthouse amongst the circling birds. What's actually up there? Have you seen it? Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Wraith, what are you doing here? Certainly seem to be taking the whole elimination thing well. Or maybe this is the opposite of that. Better not bring it up at all, and just hope he doesn't completely melt down. Oh, hi, Wraith. You sure seem chipper today. Something strange is definitely going on with this guy. Well, something else strange. Something different than what's usually going on. Wraith takes a deep breath, sucking in the ocean air like it's the greatest air that has ever been sucked. Thank you. Thank you for choosing someone, anyone else to go on a date with today. Alone again forever? This is how I was meant to be. I feel alive. Are you done? We're kind of, on that date you just mentioned? Glad you're feeling better, Wraith, but like she said, we're in the middle of something. Mine. Oh, right. So what you doing? Heading up to the eye of the lighthouse? I love it up there. You can really see the whole island from up there. In fact, Spirit, I thought you said no one has been up there and lived to tell about it, but this sounds exactly like telling about it. Technically, I don't think Wraith counts as being alive. I mean, I don't maintain the canon, but Spirit waves her arms at Wraith from head to toe. And if he's not dead, now he's gonna be when I punish him for interrupting our date. Hey, now, we can solve our problems without our hair floating up into any menacing shapes. I'll just be over here, running away. Enjoy the view! You know, I think Wraith was kidding about that whole being up there. Honestly, the view isn't even of the island. What you can see is mostly ocean, on account of it being, you know, a lighthouse. However, that does bring up an interesting point regarding your... how do I say it? Spirit's hand floats up as she scratches her head contemplatively. You don't usually see her at a loss for words like this. What's your mortal status? Because despite what our lanky friend seems to think, the lighthouse is not to be trifled with. It's a beacon of death and suffering that brings doom to all corners of this world, if not further. Well, duh, you saw a freaking pirate ship seemingly travel through space and time only to crumble at the rocks beneath the spooky tower. You decide not to point it out because that wouldn't be too romantic now, would it? I think I'm alive. I'm here with you, walking this beach, feeling the water on my feet, feeling the sun on my skin. Here with me, the spirit. Does that really make you alive? I guess I don't know. If you come with me up into the eye of the Black Lighthouse, you may never return. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Because we have something. I won't deny it. I feel it. I'd hate for you to simply turn to ash. If we were to commit right here and now to figuring this out as friends, we could put that risk off for another time. Just be friends. Ouch, is this her way of letting you down easy? I don't know if I want that friendship. I want you. That's why I chose you. I can't decide this for you. I can only warn you that it may not be safe. You might die up there, and there's nothing I can do about it. Go up. Maybe die. You take a deep breath and think about every particle of sea air as it travels into your body and fills your lungs. Maybe the last time that you have such a thought, you feel strangely at peace with that information. I don't need another friend. I want something more. I'd risk my life for it. Spirit smiles a quirky, devilish smile. Right this way? Inside the lighthouse is almost pitch black. It was seemingly day when you stepped through the door, but inside this place is like a void. The last thing you see as the final rays of sun leave you is a horrible sight. A petrified body laying on the stairs, reaching not up, but down, as if it had been crawling. Watch your step! The things we do for love. When you arrive in the lantern room at the top of the Black Lighthouse, you breathe a sigh of relief. The light is out, and seemingly defunct. Dust cakes the room, as though it hasn't been operated in a century. However, somehow... It was just morning a moment ago, but now it's night? What do you mean a moment ago? We've been standing here looking out over the ocean all day. I've really enjoyed the peaceful time together with you, taking in the view, standing in complete silence for hours. It was kind of my perfect date. Really? I don't remember that. I just called it the perfect date and you can't be bothered to remember it? What kind of game are you playing with me? I want to remember it. It's just that for some reason my mind is completely blank. But hey, I'm not dead. Oh, you're already dead, and you have been this whole time. That's true. Maybe we'll never know. It doesn't look like the light is working. Even turned off, the light has power to it. massive lens refracts moonlight through itself, a subtle sparkle that has a hypnotic effect. Maybe that's where the day went, staring into this light as the sun fell and the moon rose. Thanks for spending the day with me. I had a really good time. That's it? Don't get me wrong, this is really cool and all. I guess I don't know what I expected. I suppose if you thought you were walking into your death and nothing happened, it might feel a little anticlimactic. Sorry. Anyhow, it's time to go. Here, let me just flip on the light for the staircase so it's easier to get down. The stairs still look pretty dark. Maybe it... Spirit is interrupted by a strange hum, and then it becomes frighteningly clear to you. That switch wasn't for the stairs, it was for the main lantern, a lantern that is now beginning to power up. The faintest smell of burning begins to reach up to your nose. Oopsie. Looks like maybe that switch wasn't for the stair lights at all. Now we see who was really alive and who was really dead, I suppose. It was bound to happen sooner or later. You slam your eyes closed, hoping that somehow not looking at the light itself will protect you. Not sure if I see the logic in that, but if it is magic, it kinda defies logic. I want to see it, but well, I'm a little scared. Don't look directly into the light. Open your eyes and look only at me, and I'll keep you safe. Oh no, okay. Perfect. I think that was like perfect. Close enough. Close enough. Okay. Are you okay? You seem okay. I sure hope I haven't ruined this by pushing you to do something you weren't meant to do. You're so brave. Maybe not so coordinated, but certainly brave. I'm so lucky you put yourself through this for me. It shows that you're real. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse's lantern eye refuses to subside. No, it cannot be ignored, and it doesn't matter if you look directly at it or not. In the end, that was just a trivial game. This is real life and real magic. You stare at it now, and its power penetrates your mind. Hey, been a while. How are things? Doing good? Feeling more dead, more alive? Yeah, love will do that to a person. Don't worry, it'll make sense soon. You wake to hear Spirit's muffled voice. You got a terrible taste in your mouth, like burnt hair. The air feels damp and smells like ash. It takes time for the sound to clear up, but eventually Spirit's words start to make sense to you. However, it's clear she's talking to someone else, not to you. You know how sometimes people say, it's not you, it's me? Well, this time it is you, and it's also me. I can't believe I thought you would change for me. I can't believe I thought what you were doing was a sacrifice. You never gave anything up for me. Well, today I saw what love looks like, and it looks a whole lot different than this. Oh wow, Trapper. I don't think you're hearing me, which is weird because I'm practically shouting. Nobody breaks up with the Trapper. Nobody. Oh yeah? Fine. Nobody breaks up with Trapper, but I'm not doing that. I'm dumping. Don't you say it. I'm dumping Evan McMillan, and there's nothing you or he can do about it. It's over between us, Evan. Trapper turns from the Spirit and looks directly at you. You realize that you're laying on the ground of some weird tunnel. I think that you're shouting woke up horror. My shouting? Let's say something. Sorry, I think I interrupted something very personal and also quite scary. Hey, the Purple Tea, how are you? Let me get you a shout out quickly. I'll take an opportunity to have another drink.
I am gonna go with a Myling because nothing else is adding up. Do you know what? I'm gonna do something. This will bring you back, but I could also die. So,
Okay.
wish me luck. Well, let's see.
See how I.
You gotta love it when the old ones come up, huh? But how are you? I'm doing well. Honestly, you don't need. No, if you're here, you get a shout out. That's how it goes over here. I swear I wasn't trying to listen in, but I heard a lot. Probably not everything. I think I woke up in the middle. What did you hear? Just you dumping Trapper? We were never together. I mean, we were together. Wink, wink, wink. I know you're wearing a mask, but I know you're wearing a mask, but we can see your eyes. You don't need to say wink, wink, wink out loud. Another reason I'm right to have dumped you. You did not. It was mutual. The jig is up, as they say. They know you're awake now, and you're going to have to deal with this awkward situation head-on. Clearly, I shouldn't be here, and you two are having a very personal conversation that I don't need to be involved in. I don't even know how I got here. Not here on this island, or here in this creepy tunnel. As far as the island goes, your guess is as good as mine. As far as this tunnel goes, we brought you here. You and Trapper? After the lighthouse light came on, you blacked out. On your way down, I thought you might have hit your head on something. Or something. It's hard to tell what blood is new or old around here. Either way, I wanted to get you someplace safe, so I asked Trapper for help. It's not that I can't carry you, I just didn't feel like it, you know? I hate anything messing with my shards. Trapper, on the other hand, he loves nothing more than having an unconscious body draped over his shoulder. I could have asked Claudette and Dwight for help, but I don't trust them. But you trust Trapper. Like and trust are two different things. You might think Trapper can be a real jerk, and you'd be right, but you get what you see with him. We brought you down here because we're the only ones who know about this place. It's part of an old tunnel network that connects different places on the island. God damn it. What's up, guys? Talking island mysteries? My favorite topic. I was just in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd pop in. Trapper, you said this place was private. Don't look at me, I didn't tell him about it. Half of the appeal of the spot is getting away from people like him. Well, geez, I can see when I'm not wanted. So, you three a throuple now, or...? Because I gotta say, I really didn't get the whole Trapper spirit thing. But hey, if it's not my business, I don't stick my nose in it. We're not a thing. Nobody traps the Trapper. No, with traps or with relationships. You do realize you're sticking your nose in our business right now, right? Wow, so hostile. If you don't want to talk about it, just say so. Anyhow, this tunnel has some very interesting features. If you head about 50 meters down that way, you'll find... Get out. Wraith looks around just to be doubly sure the Trapper is addressing him. I was just leaving. This island is a lonely place, which is great for me. I love to be alone. Trapper, on the other hand, he's quite needy. And after a lot of pursuit, I finally let him catch up to me, and it became, well, I don't want to call it a relationship because somebody really didn't want to have that talk, but we were more than friends. I dispute the events as told, for the record. I don't pursue, I stalk, and I lie in wait. Seeing eye to eye was not one of the things we were good at. So, I hate to ask, but did I just look into a refrigerator-sized death lamp? But I did just look into a refrigerator-sized death lamp, so I guess I'm more of a glutton for punishment than I thought. What were you good at? Well, for starters... Excuse me, I'll take that question, thank you very much. If you know anything about me by now, is that I'm on a quest for revenge. That's everyone, for revenge. Exactly. What you might not know, Trapper is like a great classical maestro of revenge. Trapper blushes behind the mask. That's one way to compliment a killer. Revenge against friends who had turned their back and betrayed him. Revenge against his father for making him into a monster. Revenge against a barista who wrote Ewan on his cappuccino, knowing his name was actually Evan. For someone who thinks about revenge as much as I do, Trapper is an inspiration. But they say never to date your heroes. Good advice, but I don't think that's the saying. And then you came along, Horror, and you showed me that it's okay to be lost, to feel pathetic, to push on when you have nothing real to offer anyone. I'm not sure where you got all of that from, but okay. You held a mirror up to my own doubts and fears and showed me that they aren't everything about me. that I can embrace those things but not be defined by them. You showed me that life after death can be more than just an obsession with revenge and mind-blowing sex on the ground in a dark cave or dusty old tunnel. God damn it. Trapper nudges you in the ribs with his elbow. Gross. Clearly appealing to Trapper's better features has been a winning strategy for dumping his ass, but he seems to be taking it quite well. This whole half-assed dating show parody thing, at first I obviously thought it was a lame idea. What kind of moron thought there was an audience for this? But then we spent some time together and I realized there's something actual real here. And I don't want to give up on it. I don't want to give up on us. Listen, Horror. While you were knocked unconscious by some minor head trauma like a total weakling, Spirit confided in me that she has real feelings for you. I took it extremely well, naturally, because I trust her and I value her opinions. But that doesn't mean I trust you. If you want to get to her, you have to get through me first. By passing Trapper's Test, TM, coming to Behavior TV, Sundays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Trapper's Test. Answer my questions correctly or die by my blade. Question 1. What is Spirit's real name? The one given to her by her murderous father, which she only lets her real friends call her. Rin Yamaoka. Okay, you got that one. Don't celebrate yet. Question 2. What lives inside Spirit? A dragon. Sure, everyone knows that. They won't all be this easy. Question 3. Where did Spirit work back when she was a normal college girl before she was hell-bent on revenge? A restaurant. I know, to think I would date a waitress. Don't tell my father I ever mingled with help like that. He'd be so disappointed in me. Question 4. What's Spirit's favorite color? Black. Are these questions largely superficial? Sure. Maybe I didn't get to know Spirit that well. Maybe that's why she dumped. Maybe that's why it didn't work out for us. Who knows? Question 5, the final question. You got this, Heart. According to Spirit, what's worse than being dead? Not being seen for who you are. When I pitched Trapper's Test to the suits at Behavior TV, they told me there was no room in the budget for a new car to be given as the final prize for winning. So I killed them all right there on the spot. But killing them didn't solve any of the budget problems, it sure did feel good. I'm telling you this A, to brag, and B, to explain why the only thing you're going to win is me saying, congratulations for passing Trapper's Test. Not that it was some huge challenge. I mean, the woman obsessed with a giant light that shines in the dark has a chip on her shoulder about being seen. Go figure. You probably guessed, but rules are rules even if I literally made them up. Just made them up. You got it right. So I guess I approve of you dating Spirit, or whatever. I never really cared in the first place. I was just hoping you'd slip up and give me a good excuse to wet my blade with your blood. Maybe I'll find a reason tomorrow. For now, you two have fun. Wink, wink, wink. Trapper out. I'm sorry you had to endure that. What, 5 measly questions? It was nothing. Not even that, as ridiculous and unnecessary as it was, the whole thing. The waking up in a random tunnel, the overhearing our argument, the news that Trapper and I had something going on, and the stupid quiz. All of it, especially the whole Trapper out catchphrase. It's only because I actually like you. None of it would have happened if I didn't. And I like you too, Spirit. Please, call me Rin. Rin. I didn't really feel like our lighthouse experience was completed. There was something else I wanted to show you. Alone up in the lantern room of the tower? Get your mind out of the gutter, Horror. It's not that kind of game. What's that? Hold on a moment. I'm being told... No, wait. It is that kind of game. Disregard the gutter comment. Come back up there with me. There's no place I'd rather be. You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse, despite all the drama and worry that was previously a part of this place for you. More importantly, you're excited to be here with the Spirit. Which makes it all more crushing when you're interrupted by the arrival of Claudette and Dwight. Claudette, Dwight, funny seeing you here. Wait, did I say funny? I meant tragic. Tragic? I don't think so. What could be tragic about a family reunion? Those are always joyous occasions in my experience. Before they can explain what that's even supposed to mean, the lighthouse begins to howl a low, frightening sound. The lens begins to glow in a now familiar way. You prepare to shield your eyes in case something bad happens to you again. Now isn't the time for any reality show adjacent shenanigans. Dwight, Claudette, shield your eyes. We don't know what the lighthouse will... Now, please don't interrupt. You'd think after all this time, you'd know that we've got your best interests in mind. Wait, what? No, of course I don't think that. I got wax in your ears, friend. I asked you not to interrupt. Too late. The black light flares. In the darkness, you see something horrible and strange. In the place of Claudette and Dwight are two ghoulish silhouettes. But before you can focus on them, the light passes and the two survivors are returned to their normal states. It's breezy up here. I should have packed a sweater. What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. What? Okay. Around your elders. Grandpa? My little Rin, you're such a woman now. They grow up so fast. What? Her? Meet Grandpa Kazan Yamaoka. Well, technically not just Grandpa. Technically he's my great-great-great-great-great-grandpa, but that's a lot of greats to say in a row. I haven't seen my little Rin since I watched over her from the afterlife when she was just a little girl. And I expect you all to say the greats. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Rin, she can do whatever she wants, my precious little angel. But you... Oni stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative third eye in his mask is looking at you. You mongrel. You must treat me with respect, or so help me, I'll be cleaning bits of your head off my kanabu. A kanabu is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes, FYI. I'm not sure what a peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. Dirk, Claudine, explain what's going on to me. It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette, remember? We explained to you that you were going to come meet with your great-great-great-great-granddaughter suitor, and to give or withhold your approval. 5 greats. Great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Sir, your honor, master, sir. Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they think you have great judgment, and because if they summoned my father, I would be too distracted by torturing him for all of eternity to continue with the rest of the... whatever this is? Show? Game? Experience? Ah yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my own power and magnitude can help. Self-important much. Nice to meet you, Kazan. Only my friends and family call me Kazan. Those who trembled in fear at my presence called me Oni. You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trevor, and not only the sheer size of the man that Oni is, but also his attitude. Apparently Spirit has a type. You sure you can or want to measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you try to look at your own reflection, however, you become dizzy and confused. This definitely deserves more thought, but now's not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with the first ever case of self-blindness. There's a massive samurai mad-dogging you from 2 steps away. Well, you don't scare me at all, so I'll stick with Kazan. Peasant! I realize now that the true purpose of my visit is to extinguish your light. Oni waves his katana in the air at you menacingly. Like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Hold up there, Grandpops, not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First you should get to know them a little better. Young people these days, always waiting to kill people, insisting they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what needed to be done because your nobility depended on it. In his day, with such an opposing presence, he sure was giving off serious old man yells at cloud vibes. You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land, didn't need them. We had an abundance of culture already, a little too much if you ask me. But I didn't make the rules, the rulers did, exactly how it should be. Literature, art, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling, fighting, fine dining, fast food, public executions. What were we talking about? Spirit giggles at her okay, I'm not saying all of those every time, at Oni's forgetfulness. You wonder, does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so. Listen up, old man. We don't have time for you to We don't have time for you to a list of every activity available to a samurai in the entirety of the Edo period. Silence, peasant. You're showing your ignorance. Samurai were forbade from many activities that didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai will put on a disguise in order to seek out entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I did that, because I had honor, and a body built like an entire castle that is quite hard to hide. But clearly you have neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of the shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette, you fool! Rin, what would you want with such an uneducated admirer as this? You find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. However, you're really not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man. Oh wait, I get it. Sweet Rin, my beautiful descendant, you invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in. Claude, Doors, fetch my kanabo. Rin, wrap your robe around this Mongol's hands and hold them still. We'll splatter their brains on the beach together as a family. Grandpa, no, that's not why I invited you here at all. In fact, I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did. Oh, yes, sure, wink, wink, wink. This whole saying wink thing, out loud thing is getting out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, don't they? I swear, Har has a good soul and the heart of a warrior. They fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once and put up with their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, I don't know, wrap this up already? Of course. Who am I to expect anyone to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost and watching my bloodline be polluted by cowards and quarters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug. Sword drawn, Oni beckons you closer. There's no way he has ever hugged anyone in his entire life. I think I'm good over here, actually. Rin, now! Push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifice of this usurper to the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course of honor. You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know that only one sacrifice can get our family back on track. Revenge on my father, your great-great-great-great-grandson traded to the Yamaoka name. The lust for violence in your voice, it fills me with cheer. I'll never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with, to go on your journey with bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted centuries ago by our shared ancestors. And if Har ever treats me poorly, you have my word. On our family's honor, I will wield my katana and gut them like a fish. A tear rolls down from behind Oni's demonic mask. You sure you want to marry into this? Wait, we're getting married now? And one last word of advice, my dear girl. The father stuff. Don't forget it, but maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful, but it was already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Rin. I will see you again soon. Now let's go, servants. Clint, Denise, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to. Yes, sure. I swear this is still better than dealing with Trapper's dad. I'm sorry if I was disrespectful to you, of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a very special man. I realize I will never measure up to someone like that. A warrior with a hell of a fashion sense. I mean, that mask. Don't worry. I would never expect you to, or want you to, really. If all I wanted was the biggest brute alive, I'd be down in Trapper's cave right now, avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. The sense of abstract duty, anger at the world changing around me, a lust for blood, that's no way to live, and yet, as you now know, that is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever, I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me, or at least maybe I was until now. Call me the Dragon Tamer, baby. You haven't won this game yet, please don't ruin it. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. I think we've spent enough time in this lantern room. We should get back to the beach. The moonlight sets a romantic mood as storm clouds roll in and surround the Black Lighthouse. You know, the sun might have set, but if we wait long enough, it will rise again. Oh. Spirit removes her sheer robe, showing you her strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows under the light of the moon. Maybe you could help me get a head start on applying tomorrow's sunscreen. Again? I mean, yeah, of course. Last time was, well, I definitely felt more connected to you afterwards. To be totally real with you, I kinda just asked you as a goof, but I really enjoyed it. I swear though, if you tell anyone about this, I will not be labeled a foot freak. Not that there's anything wrong with feet, it's just that something about that kind of attention really gets people talking. Steady, steady. Oh, we're doing this again. Yes. Ah, damn it. Almost. Yes. Yes. God, that's so goddamn hot.
Potatoes.
Hi, monkey dogs. Let me get you a shot. I'm hoping this game is almost done because it's good. We're going to be getting dinner late tonight. But I hope you're well. Okay. God, that's so goddamn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding up and down my feet and in between my toes. My skin has never been more moist. Get up here right now. Before you can find the towel to wipe off your lotioned hands, Spirit grabs you and pulls you in close. Your lips lock onto yours, surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. You can feel the narrow straps of her bathing suit come undone and come to life, snaking through the air, wrapping around your body, lifting you up off your feet. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like. To fly. As Spirit pulls you close, you feel bits of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean, salty air stinging your skin as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. In the darkness, you're pretty sure that Spirit lets the dragon inside of her take over. If it kills you, you're sure it will all have been worth it. The clouds part just as you manage to pull yourself exhausted away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged in your shoulder. When you pluck it from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry, I think this got stuck in me when I was having the best night of my life. Spirit drags her fingertip over the sharp end of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where that came from. You arrive at the beach to find Claudette and Dwight waiting for you. Now's the time, Horror, to face your destiny. Actually, about that. Horror, can we talk privately? Maybe not here? Maybe someplace else would be better for this talk? You know how we feel about schedule, Spirit. Very strongly. And you know how I feel about you telling me what to do. Don't do it. Like I said, I'd rather have this talk with horror privately. It's not right to do it here in front of everyone. You know, from my experience in upper management and my father's mine, I learned that if you're going to fire someone, it's best to do it in public so they don't freak out. Please, enough of the fire talk. Wait, you think... No, she couldn't be. They seem so in love. Well, I mean, not really. Spirit is still spirit. But if I tried to imagine Spirit in love, I suppose she hasn't attempted to murder Horror yet, so... Okay, fine. Your guess is as good as mine, really. That girl is very hard to read. A word of advice, though. If you're going to end it quick. In my experience, the more pathetic the creature, the more annoying the final howls are. I don't need any advice. Everyone out, except for Horror. Did someone say final howls? That's kind of my old jam. I can stay right. Especially you, out. Lame. Alone with Spirit, you feel something awful hanging in the air. More awful than the lingering smell of that Cleaver body spray. Ugh, that gag. I'm gagging. We're all gagging for Cleaver body spray. Spirit, Rin, I don't know what you're planning on saying, but before you say anything, just know that I really, really enjoyed my time with you. Getting to know you over the past few days has helped me get to know myself. For that, I just wanted to say thank you. That's sweet. You're welcome, and you know what? It's that kind of thing that shows me you've got a good heart inside you. Too good for me to carve out and toss into the ocean, but also too good for me to love. I need someone who shares my interests, someone I can connect with, someone jaded and dispassionate, only driven forward by a desire for revenge. I need someone who isn't so warm that I feel cold in comparison. I need someone who isn't you. Can we just be friends? I don't know if... Before you finish that, just know if we're not friends, we'll probably become enemies and I will destroy you. Friends it is. I'm glad to have you here for me when I need you, but also not too close to me when I don't. So yeah, I'll see you around. Spirit starts to leave. Wait, what? That's it? That's how this ends? Just leaving me here? I'm not sure I'd use the word ends, and for that matter I wouldn't say I'm leaving, but us, we're definitely through. The fact you can't see that, well, it just proves that we never really belonged together anyhow. Good night, Horror. What the hell? I just spent all this time on this island doing everything I can to get to know you, only to be told that I should just leave the chocolate factory through the side door? I don't know what that means. Anyway, I said good night, Horror. See you around. Jeez, I'm sorry. What a bummer. Hey, why does she keep saying she'll see me around? Gosh, I have no idea. And so, my precious killers lived happily ever after, as they should, learning to love themselves. First and foremost, thank you for that, Smitty. While trapped in a never-ending cycle of torture of my design. Wait, did I just spoil my true identity? You've made it this far, you should probably know that. That you'll have to play again to find out more. Goodbye, Horror. See you again later, and again, and again, and again, forever. Ugh, that took so much longer than I thought it was going to. One down. That was silly. That was very, very silly. Okay, we need to find somebody to raid out to because my wife and I typically have dinner in 6 minutes, and we are going. I have to go into town to get it tonight. We're just getting takeaway. Yeah, so maybe eating late. I don't know if I'll be on later. I'm still unsure if there's a Pathfinder game or whatever happening tonight, or if I'll have the throat for it. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. This was a silly game. I have other spicy-ish games to get to, hopefully, for the rest of this month. Yeah, that being said, let me get things ready to raid out. We'll figure out who's on. Let's take a look-see here. think we might head over to Jatsu. I think they're playing Ace Attorney. Yeah, you can get some more visual novel-esque games. Can we fast forward this a little bit? I'd like to have the credits roll. I don't know how long these credits are gonna roll for though. I can't press anything. Well, regardless, I can't really stick around to to see. Oh wait, is this the end? Oh no, this is behavior interactive. Thanks. No, we're in QA. All right, we're going to rate out. We're going to head over to Jatsu. Once again, thank you very much for hanging out and watching. I really do appreciate it. If I don't happen to see you later tonight or tomorrow or whatever, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, if it is day, or a good rest of your night, if it is evening. And I shall see you later. We have reached the end, so see if there's anything post-credits.